trust. Nigeria call obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom. In freedom. In freedom. Peace and unity. Arise, my people, arise, my people. With love and strength and faith. With all our hearts and minds we serve. From about to go be down to from Warri to Lagos.
Can everyone hear me? Can you guys acknowledge that? If you can hear me, can you unmute?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Good evening,
I
everyone.
can hear.
All right. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to What is Your Opinion segment with Dr. Dama, Luke, and Uncle KJ. And we're waiting on Chim here. Hopefully, he'll get to join us. Today's topic is going to be can Nigeria handle the marriage institution? We're going to be looking at this topic in three sections. The first section is we're going to play a video. We're going to talk what the marriage institution, what it has to do with Nigerians. We're not talking about any other country but Nigeria. We want to focus specifically on Nigeria. How are we doing in the marriage institution? Like, what is your opinion? Do you think we're getting better or do you think we're lacking? What areas can we improve in? And the second part that we're going to be looking at marriage as well is being with a partner who is not emotionally available to you. What do you do when you find yourself in a situation where you're in a marriage or in a relationship where you have a partner who is not emotionally available? And the third part we're going to be looking at is financial abuse. Finance is a big thing in every relationship. So those are the three parts where we're going to be looking at in terms of this today's topic. So with that being said, I'm going to allow my panelists to introduce themselves, then we'll go from there. They're an open monologue, then I'll play the first video. I'll go to Madam Luke. Madam Luke, how are you doing?
Madam Luke is fine. I'm doing great. Good to be here. My wonderful panelists,
Thank you.
co-producers, co-hosts, viewers, and the commentators at large. Good to be here. Let me know what I can do to make this a fun session today.
I can't love you less. I need to say this about you while you're here. We need to learn to lift each other up. While I was on vacation, let me tell you guys a little story. Madam Luke made it before I went to vacation. She checked on me. She was like my accountability coach because she knew how crazy my schedule was. And she'll call me and she said, Adama, have you slept? What are you still doing? I'm seeing you online on WhatsApp. Go and sleep. And I just want to tell you, thank you. I really appreciate that because it's good to have someone who care about you and your well-being to make sure you're getting the rest you need. So I appreciate that, Madam Luke. Uncle Kate,
Good.
how have you been, sir? So could you introduce yourself? Could you unmute, sir? Uncle KJ, are you there? Uncle KJ, I can't hear him. Let me add. Okay, let me say this for those of our panelists that wants to join. This is a
Sorry.
no camera segment, so please, if you want to come in, please have your cameras turned off. So go ahead, Uncle KJ. You can introduce yourself, sir.
Okay, my name is KJ. I am one of those who Madam Luke does not check on, but it's okay. Good to be on the panel. Thank you, Alama, for inviting me.
So Niger, is that you? Can you introduce yourself? I just want to make sure you're the one.
Yeah, that's me. All right. Greetings. Thank you for having me here. And yes, I am the one.
It looks like somebody's arriving on helicopter. Oh.
Adama, waiting for you.
Say, Madam Luke, can you tell us what today's topic is all about? I'm going to hand it over to you. Go ahead.
Okay. You know, this is one topic I'm very, very passionate about. And I want to discuss why the place of marriage, of the marriage institution in our society, if we can really handle it, or do we abuse the marriage institution? Is it working for us as Nigerians? What is our success rate? Are we failing on it, or are we succeeding on it? When you look around you, are you encouraged by what you see? Do you have good role models in your family? Is this something, if you're married, is it working for you? If you are not, is this something that is holding you back? Is it that something holding you back that's not making you take that plunge? And if it's within Nigeria, do you think you can make it work within Nigeria, or do you have to look elsewhere because something is missing in the Nigerian setting, that marriage is a misfit? So this is what we're going to talk about today. And even if we get married and even if we have relationships, the second part of the show, like she said, is going to be about the financial abuse, and then what it is to be emotionally available in a relationship. That all ties up with marriage. The emotional accountability, the financial security, all that will make a marriage successful. So first of all, we're going to discuss what it does it mean to be in a marriage in a Nigerian setting. What does marriage mean to you? So this is what we're going to discuss today. How do we make it better? Yes or nay? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Luke. With that,
I can't hear anymore. Is it just me? I think you are
Yeah, I think
muted.
she. I think
yeah,
she went
I
off.
sorry. Let me share the first video. I'm going to share my screen here so I can be able to play the first video. Then we'll go from there. So with that being said, let me do that right now. All right.
That we don't even love in a healthy way. And if you don't love healthily, you can't keep a functional family. The family is already dysfunctional. The children that are coming out of those places will be dysfunctional. Nigerians couples don't kiss anyway. They don't kiss. I say it a lot of times that the last time most couples kissed, most was when the pastor said, "You may kiss the bride." After that, they moved on. You wake up in the morning, you are going out. I'm not even saying peck. I'm saying French kiss that keeps you in the mind of your partner for the rest. You know, they say when you kiss someone, the person can't get over it for the rest of the day. That is what couples should be doing. All of those things are not happening here. No emotional connection, no intimacy. All the men know is look for money, be hard, be tough.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Uncle KJ. Uncle KJ, what is your opinion? Uncle Patrick, welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Adama, for having me.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And I just want to recognize the people in the chat. Abby, Beba. Oh my God, my people have landed here. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. So, Uncle KJ, what is your opinion on this video we just played?
Okay, you mean my opinion in what sense? Whether we should be kissing now?
No, no, Jesus Christ. Opinion in the sense of you heard what she said. She said that Nigerians are not meant to be married, like be in a marriage institution.
Let
So my question is, what do you think about this video? And when it comes to marriage, what is it that we're not doing? Sir, can you hear me? Is it me? Like, can you guys hear me? Tell me if you can hear me.
Hello, hello. It's back now.
Okay, go ahead. Did you hear my question, sir?
No, I didn't hear it.
I said, what is your opinion in this video that I just played? And when it comes to the marriage institution, what do you think we're not doing? Because our divorce rate in the diaspora is not something that is encouraging. And we are, I can say this, a lot of our men are now romantic, let's be honest. And a lot of our men can, let me just keep my opinion. Like, what is your opinion on this video we just
Okay,
watched?
my
And how
opinion.
it relates to marriage?
My opinion uh, on I'm going to circle it around Nigerian men. If Nigerian men are not romantic, I don't think we're the most wanted men around the globe right now. I saw a statistic some 2 days ago, and the most sought after men on earth right now are Nigerian men. So anybody who says that Nigerian men are not hot, well, I don't know what else to tell the person. But I want to say this also. I haven't said that because one person marries and the marriage is not successful doesn't make the marriage institution not working. In the places where many people have failed, many have succeeded, and many more are succeeding. What is the reason why there is high rate of divorce among diaspora, especially Nigerians and Ghanaians? It's because they come to a place where rules and regulation are kind of not obeyed. There's a thin line between, let me put it this way, secularism is helping to destroy a lot of things. Secularism is, can be interpreted in a lot of ways, but for me, it's just simply the absence of Christ. So people now invent laws and regulations that do not help the marriage institution. Remember, what keeps the world going around is marriage. Marriage is what makes us to continuously to remain human beings. Marriage is what makes the mankind to continue to see an example how to live and how not to live. If we break the marriage institution apart, we will all end up being savages because we will not default to dog eat dog. Whatever you can get, you get. Whether it suits the other person or not. But going directly to the institution of whether you see the laws are. I mean, you are all American, so I don't have to teach you this. But you know that the laws in the West are skewed towards favoring the women, especially women who do not have, husbands in their houses. Those laws don't favor a man who does not have a wife in their house. And that's one of the first things I noticed, and I tried to, work something to help. But I noticed that it's a losing game, because the truth is, many of us have come to believe that the Western value is better than that which you come with, which is in Africa, which I think is totally not true. You know, and yes, you see, I used to follow T. Jakes a long time ago. There's a message he preached where he said, if you want a romantic man, you want a man who is always in the present, then you have to be satisfied with when he doesn't have, money to give. Because if he has all his time to spend with you, hugging, kissing, and laying around the house, obviously he's not going to be able to foot the bills. Okay. But if he goes out, so you have to either choose a hardworking man, or you be satisfied with having, a teddy bear in the house with that you just be flopping her over and the things, that's where I see it as an Igbo man. I'm probably not talking from the Western point of view, which I don't know very much, but my own cultural perspective, and a Nigerian, a black man, and an African, I think that our roles, and I would not say that we're not romantic. I simply would simply say that um, we are not cued toward that direction of being all that. But there are many guys, Western, people who, I mean, I'm not going to say generalize it. What I'm saying as my general, these are just my views, and it probably be wrong also. But I believe that there's nothing wrong with a black guy. Rate of, if you check the normal rate of divorce in our society here in America as against Nigeria, I think here is much higher, triple the number that is going on in Nigeria,
So,
because there's no
but,
social.
but sir, all these things you said are great things. I like it. It's like when it comes to us evaluating ourselves, we have a hard time evaluating ourselves, but we're very quick to praise ourselves and say all those wonderful things about us. This conversation is about is what is it that we are not doing right? Because apparently, when we come here to the diaspora, a lot of us don't know how to behave. So our character, like she said, a lot of us are traumatized and we don't address issues. We tend to ignore things. So how can we improve the marriage institution specifically in Nigeria?
Yeah, Adama, can come in this time because I'm.
Yes, go ahead, Uncle Patrick. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Uncle KJ, thank you for your opening remark. That was great. I'm going to start from the scripture. The Bible says marriage is honorable in all. And I'm going to quickly give some example. Adama, I'm a baby boomer. Yeah, and when I was growing up, even when I was in primary school, my mother, she's the only daughter of the dad from a polygamous home. She grew up in the East. She's from Delta Igbo, but she speaks all Igbo, Oweri. And during the war, she played a great role in Igbo life. We had a room, two rooms in our house in Lagos that we kept all the loads of the Igbos. And after the war, when they came back, they saw their belongings, and they called my mother, Mama Igbo. I'm from Edo State, but they call my mother, she speaks Igbo. And she does one thing which I will never forget. Whenever we are coming back from school, we see women that will sit down at the door, maybe three of them, for counseling. I never knew that it was marriage counselor. She was a marriage counselor. Even our senior brother, my uncle wife, will come and sit among the women. One will be going in, one will be going out. One will be coming out. What am I bringing out from there? There have been issue with marriage in ages, but people sit down to solve it. They communicate. Sister Adama, you took your time. Despite your schedule, you socialize. You are always on what's it called, YouTube, contributing. I see Uncle KG and see everybody. You guys are gaining your, experience from other people's experience. You are learning a lot. Many people in diaspora don't do that. All what they do is to work, and think it's only money that can solve their marital issue. People don't even go to seminar. I can tell you how many marriage seminar I've gone to. Are you getting me? One of my friends who is a professor in two schools, he's been in America up to 40 years, and we were talking. He just said one of his friends, he just said that one of his friends is divorced. He has to call him and say, what am I hearing? He said the matter is already in court. People lack communication. When you come to diaspora, you are on your own. People live individual life. And when you are having marital issue, there is going to be issue. Normal issue, marital, maybe finance, sex, or whatever. Other pressing issue. You have to communicate and talk to people. You have to be conscious and you have to be intentional about your marriage. That's one big question, big problem people are facing. I have a junior brother who's a doctor, and doctors, they meet people that he went to Ogun State University, very smart guy from England. He came here. He said, Uncle, 90% of his friends that are doctors are divorced. Because as soon as you come to America, you are making big money, nobody can talk to you. That's a very big problem that we are facing. It's not as if marriage are not, but the fact that, okay, like Uncle KJ said, they give women more power. Okay, I can't do more than this. Okay, I'm not going to be arguing with it. Let's just go to court. Simple things that could be settled. I'm going to round up my uncle. He's been here for 57 years. I didn't know this until I got to America. He said there was a time he took the wife to the airport and said, yes, you must go to Nigeria today. You are the one destroying my life. He said the only thing that saved them was that they weren't selling tickets at the counter. Then you can buy online. But today, she said, this woman, she's my best friend. The last time I went to Nigeria, I went to Zenith. I didn't even know. I just saw. I said, Patrick, you are here. Then you have to help me sign this. I said, Uncle, why? He said, this man don't have no idea about the account. It's the wife that is managing. And Dr. Adama, if you get to their house in Nigeria, you think you're in America. Big mansion. It was the wife that built it. This man retired as a senior manager at Pfizer. He has worked as a chemist with Perigo. He has worked with Amway before now got into Pfizer. What am I saying? This is the man that took the wife to the airport and said, you must go, you must leave America. You are the one destroying my life. So most of us that are here, we don't even allow people to interfere. No third party, no. Let's go and see counselor. Nobody to talk to you because you are making millions. You are a doctor and you neglect your marriage. And most times, women are the receiving end. Because coming from Nigeria, we believe whatever I say, my woman cannot say anything. I'm the Oga. No, you are not. You are the Oga, but then you are team. So it goes a long way. I'm going to round up. I was this Saturday, last week Saturday. I sat down for 6 hours at a marriage seminar. This man, you know why? The difference that this man he was vulnerable. He's been married for 45 years. He said it was 21 years ago that the fighting and no fighting stopped. And he opened up, said, man, he said his coconut head. If not for Jesus, he would have been divorced. He said he has a coconut head. He said that was the day he said, this woman, it's going to be me or this woman today. That was leaving office and Holy Spirit just spoke to him, say you want to go to jail? He said that was what saved his marriage. So panelists, Dr. Adama, we need to talk about it. There should be that communication with you and your wife. You must sit down. You must be intentional. Marriage are still surviving in the Obodoyinbo, in diaspora. But don't allow that money you are earning to enter your brain. You know who will suffer it? It's the children that will suffer it. You know the idea. They say when two elephant fight, is the grass that suffer. It's going to affect the children and everything you have been doing. It's not all about money. Socially, everything mental is going to affect your children. To round up, you guys must sit down and talk, and it must be intentional. If you have to bring in people, bring in people. Everything has disadvantage and no advantage. Some people will say, I don't want people not to hear. No, you need an accountability partner that will look at your face and say, Adama, you are wrong. If you want your marriage to survive, you need to stop doing this. Somebody that will talk to your husband and say, man, forget about it. You are a CEO, but you are wrong. You offended your wife. You need to apologize. You need to quit that. You need to look at your children. Don't destroy the life of your children. You must allow this marriage to survive. Thank you. I'm going to stop from this. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Uncle Patrick. I really appreciate your contribution. I'm going to go to forefather Abby. Oh my God, Abby, you are in the studio
Hi,
for
my
real.
sis. Good morning, everybody. It's morning where I am, so
I know. Let me go to forefather. Forefather, can you mute yourself? What is your opinion in regards to this video I played, and how do you think we're doing in the marriage institution here in diaspora and back in Africa, Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you for that. The question, I mean, and greetings to the panelists, the chat, and to the viewers. In terms of diaspora, we are not doing very well. Obviously, because in the diaspora there is a misalignment of expectations, and and it results in an element of friction that causes breakdown in the marriage institution more frequently compared to on the continent or in Nigeria. Um, in the case of Nigeria, I don't know that lady. I think the way she's trying to define marriage in the Nigerian context seems to be coming from the Western paradigm. And when she was talking about kissing and all those things, it's not everybody that is the logistics of doing all that is possible, or is even it shouldn't be something that should be expected in the context of Nigeria, because some people don't have those dynamics going for them. Some people, the family life and health life and the circumstances are not the same. It's not everybody that can get involved in all kinds of way of showing affection as others can. It's funny because if you look at the way societies behave, the working class, the way they show affection is not similar to the way the elites to show affection. Even in America, it's not the same, and it's different from different groups within societies. And in the context of Nigeria, you notice that the northern part of Nigeria, they tend to be more conservative, and the southern part of Nigeria is a little bit more loose and want to go with the Western listed narrative. That said, by and large, I think in Nigeria the institution is doing better in terms of being able to, you know, have a two-parent home, the generational wealth transfer to the children, a social cohesion, those type of things. Yes, we are doing it better in Nigeria than in the diaspora. And clearly, when we go to the diaspora, like the lady that you played in the video indicates, the standards change, and we start expecting certain things. And the men too, in short, both sides, they start expecting things that are unrealistic, and before you know it, there is a breakdown. The last time I spoke about something like this, I did say that it would be quite useful to have some kind of body that listens to couples that travel overseas, because the rate of breakdown is quite alarming. And when they keep breaking down like that and they are overseas, generally their outcomes are not going to be that good, and a lot of homes and families are going to end up becoming either underclasses in the countries they move to, or some of them may even end up back in Nigeria without accomplishing the dreams that they wanted to go overseas to go and this fulfill. So I would recommend that they find a way to try to counsel people and have couples manage their expectations more realistically so it doesn't lead to family breakdown, because in the end, marriage is for a purpose. It's not for only canoodling and doing all the romance stuff. It has a purpose, and that purpose, if it starts defeating it, which is happening in the diaspora, is a big problem. It becomes it's more serious than we realize, because if the family is not together, societies tend to fail. And when you are in an environment that doesn't even want to support us, it's even more urgent that we try to prevent it from happening. So that's my thing. I don't think that lady is being realistic in the way she's evaluating marriage in the context of Nigeria, because she was talking about Nigeria mostly. And I just feel like she's just using Western system to judge Nigerian marriages. And it's not always like that. What if you get married to somebody and the person falls ill? Are you going to say because the person fall ill, the stuff has changed, so I'm going to divorce him? It's no longer romantic and all the rest. What are you going to do? It's just what it is. Sometimes people become closed off. Sometimes people don't become closed off. You have to ask yourself: should you abandon the marriage institution because of that? I don't know. Maybe some people just think that marriage is about romance constantly these days. I don't know. I just think that marriage is far more than that, because if you are so selfish as breaking up a home because you are feeling not romanticized enough, and then your children grow up in single parent homes and all the rest, then I don't know, man. I just feel like that is not helpful. You are supposed to be somewhat to an extent selfless in this life, and that is what we do when we join societies. Societies means there's an element of selflessness. You have to give up some of you know your own instincts to make sure everybody else is okay. And that is what marriage is too. So people should not, I just feel like people should not be too judgmental about our marriages in Nigeria. But if in terms of improvement, of course there's a lot to be said, to be improved upon.
And that's
uh,
what we're going to come back to the second section. You're going to tell
okay.
us what we need to improve on, because all everyone is saying is just focusing on romance. And let's just say the way it is. Everybody is not a romantic person. I'm okay with that. Whatever floats your boat, do it. But what this topic today was for is what we are not doing something right. Our marriage institution is not doing well in the diaspora. I don't know about Africa because I don't live there and I don't know what goes on there. So I want us to talk about what is it that we're not doing here in the diaspora that makes, like let's read what AB wrote. AB said, if I come back from work 8 hours, you expect me to come and talk. Like, make it make sense. So, with that being said, let's hold on. I'm going to let Abby speak. Then I'll come to Madam Luke. Then we'll go to the next round of questions so that we can dig into what we are not doing that can help us improve our marriage here in the diaspora. With that being said, Abby, could you please unmute? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Adama. Good morning, good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's had a good Saturday. Yeah. So I'm not married, by the way, but I do have some thoughts to share. Um, I do think that I'm going to go on the path that Uncle Patrick started, which is communication, because at the end of the day we're all individuals, and I feel like we all have what it is that we want out of life, and some people have things that make them happy. I do think that as much as marriage has a bigger purpose, I think that marriage should also make one happy. Otherwise, it's not worth it. I mean, if you're going to marry someone and your intention is to be with them for the rest of your life, you might as well feel fulfilled while at it. Having said that, I do think that if someone, romance, I think occasionally, especially with social media these days, is overplayed. And I don't think people understand that sometimes romance could just be the little things. It really could be the little things. It could be back rubs, it could be well done, it could be I'm proud of you. It doesn't always have to be grand gestures. And I think that people are different, but I feel like if both parties communicate, then they can know what they want from each other. But I don't think that it's fair to say that marriage is so big that romance isn't big enough or isn't important, because if that is what is going to make your woman or your man feel important, if that's what's going to make your man or your woman feel heard or seen in the relationship, and I think it's a good idea to try. I always say that these days there's no excuse for not trying because we're exposed to so many resources. If you ever feel stuck, if you Google, someone has done it before you. Trust me, there's so much. And I just feel like if you want something to last, if you want something to be fulfilling, you will try. For instance, with the comment that AB wrote, my approach towards life is if I can work hard to create the career that I want, then I can work hard at my relationship or marriage. I can work hard at, bringing up my children. That's my thought process. So if my partner is saying that I would like if you encourage me more, my love language, or I feel heard or seen when I get words of affirmation, what really is the big deal? Even if you have to Google ways to make your partner smile today, what is the big deal if that's what they're requiring? That's my opinion anyway. If you can work hard at work, if you can work hard with your family and retain those relationships, I think you can put a little bit more effort into making your marriage a little bit more fun, with romance and just little things here and there. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Abby. I like the way you said it, and well said. Madam Luke, I'm going to come to you. Are you ready, Mama?
Always ready.
Yes, over to you, Ma.
All right. I think we're missing the point. With all the discussion I've heard so far, I don't think anybody really watched the video, or if they did, they don't remember what the woman talked about. So I'm going to bring you all back, and she has maintained the position that I have maintained for a long time.
Do you want me to play the video again, or you say
I
no?
think you need to play the video again because it's really short.
Okay, let me play
I
it
don't
again.
think they watched the video. Play it again.
Let me play it again. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you. Let's play the video again. Okay. All right.
That's like giving you an exam and a thesis to write, and you just go off tangent. The thing wasn't flowing with the video. Everybody was saying here wasn't flowing with the video. So shoot.
And we don't even love in a healthy way. And if you don't love healthily, you can't keep a functional family. The family is already dysfunctional. The children that are coming out of those places will be dysfunctional. Nigerian couples don't kiss anyway. They don't kiss. I say it a lot of times that the last time most couples kissed, most was when the pastor said, "You may kiss the bride." After that, they moved on. You wake up in the morning, you are going out. I'm not even saying peck. I'm saying French kiss that keeps you in the mind of your partner for the rest. You know, there's a way you kiss someone, the person can't get over it for the rest of the day. That is what couples should be doing. All of those things are not happening here. No emotional connection, no intimacy. All the men know is look for money, be hard, be tough.
All right.
Yeah, we're back. So let me put everybody back where we're supposed to be. That, by the way, that's not the end. That's not the whole video. That is just a section of that video.
Yes, I agree.
That kissing is a metaphor for emotional connection. But the only thing people could hear about that was kissing. What did the woman say? We do not love in a healthy way. And I agree. I agree. And I've told my girls, my God, if you want to marry, don't marry a Nigerian. Timaya said the same thing. He said you cannot date a Nigerian. I've told my girls, if you don't date two races, you will not know how dysfunctional we are. If you don't date two races, even if it's a Chinese, you will not know how dysfunctional we are. We do not love in a healthy way, and it is true. Everybody coming here telling me submit to your, and people are bringing Bible, bringing this one, bringing that one, bringing that one. That's not the point. You can read all the Bible and Quran you like, but if you're not healthy, what I'm trying to say, we put the funk in dysfunction in marriages. Number one, starting with that your polygamous institution there. Now, I'll give Atiku as an example. That man has He has recycled. You're supposed to have a four wives as a Muslim. Fine. He keeps recycling them so that he can make four, but he will keep changing it. With the slew of children, maybe 35 or 40 children, how much connection, emotional connection, can you give to a harem of 80 people? How? So I agree with everything she said. The kissing part is just a metaphor for emotional connection. Not everybody likes to kiss. That's fine. But what kind of emotional connection do you have that you will leave me in the morning and I'll be waiting for you to come back at night? I wish you had played that. I wish you had played that Timaya's video. He said dating a Nigerian is like playing police and thief, cops and robbers. There is no honesty. I mean, people are talking about the most criminal minded people are the people who carry the Bible. We do not have healthy marriages. Like I said, if you don't date two races, you will not know that we are dysfunctional. I had to go and buy a dog for therapy to teach me how to love. And when I bought a dog, I could understand what love meant. You all need to go and buy your children pets for therapy. Because all we know is bastardize. A man comes in the night, takes his clothes off. Men are programmed to walk. And that is why I have been programmed to walk. My parents divorced when I was 8 years old. I was raised by a single father. I learned from him so that now I walk. There's nothing you can do to make me sit down at home and say, I'm going to submit to a man. It's not possible. It's not possible. Most women in Nigeria are breadwinners. And I asked myself, how can I love in this filthy? In fact, when I was in Nigeria, it was when I came out of Nigeria, I knew that how is it possible to love in a poverty-stricken, filthy environment? I'm in the room. Roaches and rats are running everywhere. Dirty is smelling outside the house. And you're telling me how do you fall in love in a pit? How do you sustain a marriage in poverty? Like I said, if I come to this world again, I will not marry a Nigerian. This has nothing to do with Bible. This has nothing to do with tradition. We love in a most dysfunctional way. We have no emotional connection whatsoever. So you can carry your Bible all you want. Bible, like I said, that biblical thing is like a mind control thing. It's like when you keep preaching the same thing over and over again, you begin to believe it and you become regimental. So it's like a cult. So you're not using your right mind to think. Is that which marriage what do you call it? Role model do you have in the Bible? Which role model of marriage do you have in that Bible of yours? So on the last final note, we need emotional therapy. We need emotional therapy. I've told my children, please don't marry Nigerians. They do not know how to love. They are regimental. They are programmed. Be a lawyer, be a doctor. They don't know how to, they don't have human feelings. That is why when you see people die now, they'll just say, hey, yeah. These people don't know how to feel. They have no feelings.
Are you?
That is why I said I went and bought me a dog, and it has helped me spiritually and mentally to know that I can have respect for an animal, then I will have respect for a human being. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Luke. I appreciate your opinion. With that being said, Chim, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Welcome to the show.
All right. So, good evening to everyone, or good morning, or whatever the time is, wherever you are. Let me start by saying be careful who you listen to, be careful where you get your advice from. I will say that clearly. Now, two, you played a video. Whether that video is half, complete, inaccurate, that's not for the viewer or the person who's using the video as a basis to speak. What the person responding to is responding based off what he or she watched and heard. So if the video was beyond that, then play the whole thing for us. If you're playing something, I will respond based on the perspective of what I have said. Now, that being said, I will repeat again, kissing has nothing to do with accomplishing a functional marriage. And I'm happy that woman said, she used the word functional. So there is a marriage that is functional, and there is a marriage that is based off other things like romance. And she said, of course, sometimes people speak without consciously taking careful attention to what they're saying. Our grandparents had functional marriages. She said functional. My grandparents had functional marriage. My grandparents didn't know romance. But I grew up in a family where there was roaches. We slept in one room. But my parents had romance. They were poor, but they had romance. My father and my mother hold hands together, walk down the street. My mother does not wear trousers. My mother ties a wrapper. And my father will hold her and they will go out. My father will come back and wash his wife's panties. But they had roaches. So they accomplished both functionality and romance. But you know what? Functionality is what makes a marriage last. There might be no romance, but there's functionality in it, which means people understand what they're in the marriage for. They understand that they're here to support each other. They understand that they're there to raise children. And maybe it's their culture that is the functionality. That's fine. So I think we just need to address the point. The point is, yes, we have marriages falling apart, whether it is in the Western world by Nigerians or other Africans or blacks, or it is falling apart in Nigeria. Let's always be cautious of the fact that we live in a different dispensation, in an era where all sorts of things are getting in the way of our lives, especially marriages. You have a woman who has to go out and work, she's stressed. You have a man who also has to go out and work, he's stressed. They have to look for a way to take care of their 2-year-old, which means putting the child in a daycare. And if the daycare is not the healthy type where the child comes home every day sick or catching one cold or the other, then one of the partners will now need to stay home to take care of that. And most times, if it's the woman, then frustration sets in. There is also the issue of managing resources, finances. It strains marriages. And then people will get, well, some of these things were not there when our grandparents and some of our parents were doing marriage. They understood what roles are. In every society, there are roles. We have a president, we have a senate. Those are roles. When you bring it down further down to the home, there is a wife. There's something a wife does, which is different from what a man or husband will do. But when individuals appreciate what those roles are, now, don't get me wrong, you might be the man wearing the physical trousers, but you perhaps might be a sit-at-home father. It's possible. Perhaps you own your own business. You have the convenience of time to be able to run that business at your pleasure. And being able to do that takes away the burden of how to take care of the kids. You might be the dad who goes doing school runs because you run your own private business. You're in control. But your wife is a corporate woman. She has to go to work. And if both of you understand that, like I think I'm not sure the word you used. You said whatever rock makes your boat move us. I don't know how you put it. Basically, whatever works for you, use it. I totally agree with that. So I think the last thing I want to say is this: can people respect people's values and perspective? There is no view that is foolish. If somebody says he wants to read marriage and interpret marriage from the perspective of the Bible, so be it. That's what that person knows. If you like Oromia's pattern, follow your Oromia. That's okay. It's also perfectly okay. There's no hard and fast rule. There are marriages that have nothing to do with Bible, and they are some of the most successful. That's a different thing altogether. And there are marriages that have been built on the Bible and they are strained. It is not the Bible or Romea or James Brown that is going to come and make your marriage work. It is you. You are a human being. It's two people, two heads, two good heads together, looking at issues properly, identifying what they want, agreeing on how they want to run things, and the marriage will work, or vice versa, or collapse. So I'm not one given to saying because my own stuff didn't work, then I begin to castigate everything. No, marriage is a beautiful thing. I've said it a gazillion times. It doesn't matter if mine crashes now, it's still a beautiful thing. So I think when we come to the diaspora, let's not also forget There is a way things are done in the US or in the UK or in Germany. When you come to those societies and you begin to bend towards the norms of those societies, then of course your marriage will also take a toll towards what is prevalent in those societies. But if you come from your Africa and you say, you know what, as much as I'm here, there are certain values from my culture I still like and appreciate, and I want those things to dictate or influence how I run my marriages, maybe to help you have a long-lasting marriage, which, if you ask me, I refer to as a functional marriage. So even the woman who was telling us about functional marriage seems to be confused, doesn't know what she's saying. Her grandfather, I'm sure, had a functional marriage. Her parents, if we probe further, were not probably very educated. They had a functional marriage. So what's her problem? What's her problem? Functional marriage is what we want to have. Anything that is functional means it is working well. And for you to have a functional marriage, there are certain things you might need to ignore. Sometimes romance might not even come in. So, but I'm not saying romance shouldn't be a pursuit in marriage. It should. People should pursue having romance, holding hands, doing public display or whatever it is you call it. But I just think we need to be a bit more open-minded. And when we're looking at these things, let's look at it from a proper lens. Let's not be looking at things with anger and annoyance and what didn't work for you or worked for you. That's not the way to look at life. Look at life properly from proper norms. At this point, I yield the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So now we've had how beautiful our marriages are and what we need to. So, like I said when we started this conversation is about looking at what we need to do to improve the marriage institution in Nigeria specifically. Because if, like, as much as we like praising ourselves, one thing I've come to realize with us is that we don't like criticism at all. We do not like criticism at all.
Doctor,
Everything we want to, yes, go ahead.
doctor,
Yes.
just to show a caveat, are we going to say that Nigerian marriages are succeeding? Okay, even when we talk about the ones in diaspora, which place has the better success rate? Do we have a better success rate in Nigeria or the diaspora? So why I'm asking this question is that the question here on this topic is, can Nigerians handle marriage? So the fact that you're in a marriage doesn't mean it's successful. And I would say that the rate in Nigeria the rate of success in Nigeria is even worse because of poverty.
Sorry, can you give us statistics, please? If you're going to say stuff, throw the statistics out, please. That it helps us have perspective. Because if you're just speaking from what you think you have in your head, then that's not statistics.
Okay, if Google is your friend, you can go and Google it. Nigerian marriages are failing in Nigeria.
No, it has nothing to do with Google. Show us the stats.
If I show you statistics, I have to go to Google, right?
Rate of marriages in Nigeria.
No, so if I provide it,
it doesn't have to be Google. Google is not a.
So how am I going to
know it all
I have to research it now. Is it on my head?
Okay, so
no, everything is not about Google.
Okay. No, what are you saying? If I don't go and Google it and read it up and bring this research quoted by people who have actually done it, how am I going to do it? Is my question to you. If you have
it in Google.
No, wait. Are you saying I should use my own?
If you have Google, bring it.
Wait a minute. Are you saying I should use my own spiritual intelligence? What are you trying to tell me?
Nobody's talking about spiritual intelligence. Listen,
okay,
sorry. Can I say something? Can I quickly say something? Before I come to bandy facts, what I call facts, I will get the data. If either I go do the research myself, I go and do a focus study.
I have already done it. It's not that I wasn't prepared to bring it here. I've already done it.
So then if you're not prepared to do it, then you can't say stats and
no, hold on, please, hold on, everybody, hold on, please. This is what I want us. Let's all calm down. We're having a conversation. We're not going to all agree. But if we want to be honest, the question now to the panelists in the platform, are we saying that Nigerian marriage are doing well in the diaspora? I can't speak about Nigeria.
I can speak about Nigeria because I grew up there.
Okay, so Madam, look, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. I grew up there. So anybody that doesn't grow up in Nigeria cannot talk to this subject. And like somebody rightly said on the panel, on this, if your parents did a very good job in marriage because of the times that you're going there, then you should drop your cell phones, go to the farm, Go back to the way your parents were living, so that way you can get that kind of marriage. You even said it because of the stresses of work, the stresses of times. So a lot of things are breaking down the marriage institution. I grew up in Nigeria, and and I always say from my own experience, even everywhere around me, I could even till now, third generation, I look at the marriages. I don't see anyone that has head. Most of them are living in bondage because of financial crisis. The women cannot leave because they have nowhere to go. Some men cannot leave because the wives are the breadwinners. So it's a matter of there's no equal yoking, and there's no commitment. They're basically surviving in that marriage. And that is what I'm trying to say. So if you talk about statistics, you can even Google it. There's a lot of studies everywhere, quarrel everywhere, problems. That is what this topic is all about. It's not. We see, we're not here to slight anybody, and nobody is here to win any argument. The thing is here is for us to see how we can make our institution stronger. Nobody is proud to have a failed marriage. Nobody is proud to not have a lot of single men and women out there. But my problem is Nigerians cannot handle marriage because of the environment of
Madam, look,
dysfunction.
the way you are saying that if Nigerians don't have capability to handle marriage, that's totally wrong.
No, I didn't say
I'm
they don't have
sorry to
capability. I
say.
didn't listen to me. I didn't say they don't have.
Tell us
Hold on.
areas they can improve what they can do. That's
That's
why
what
we
I'm
are
telling
here.
you. That's what I'm telling you. The area, the environment you have now, due to the high poverty rates, crime, it's not conducive for love and marriage and raising children. The environment is not conducive.
Sorry. What do you consider a successful marriage?
A successful marriage,
Yeah, in the Nigerian context.
in Nigeria context where all the pieces fall into place together. Emotional commitment, love and respect, all those components that make a marriage. Most Nigerian marriages are disrespectful. Most of them are domestic, they are violent. There's a high rate of abuse in Nigerian marriages. So when all those components do not work well, how can you have a successful marriage? A successful marriage is not the absence of a divorce. It's not the access it's not the presence of a divorce.
That is what it is considered, because if it's not marriage, it's
Hold
divorce.
on,
So
hold
when
on.
it fails,
Wait. Repeat what you just said.
they said when
To
the
Niger,
marriage
to Niger.
fails,
Wait, let her finish. Then you
No,
can go.
I want to ask what he said, something that is going to make sure I understand what he's saying. I said
um,
he asked me what a successful marriage is. A successful marriage does not mean the absence or the presence of a divorce. Some of them people are living more in bondage because they have nowhere to go. So the fact that you are chained there, if all these men that are making noise, that if you call their wife, they will tell you something different.
I beg now my turn. Oh.
Go ahead. If you all these men that are making mouth here, if they have their wife separately, you will hear what they will have to say.
Okay, thank you, Madam Luke.
Thank you.
Revolution, welcome to the show. Sir, do you know what we are discussing?
Yes, I've been hooked up from the beginning.
Okay, go ahead. What is your opinion on what we're discussing, sir? Welcome.
Yes, I want to greet everybody warmly, and I hope you will
And
permit
Sister Natu, welcome as well. Thank
and
you
I,
for
I
joining
hope
us.
you permit me to speak in the pidgin language because
No,
this
no,
is
speak in any language that you feel comfortable, so long as it's not something people cannot be able to understand. Go ahead, feel free. If it's broken, whatever that floats your boat, go ahead, sir.
okay. What thing I want talk be say, I don't know, I don't want people to misunderstand me. Say anything where Madam Luke they talk, I always support her because I love people who speak the truth about situation in Nigeria. The problem Nigeria they have today be say we always cover the truth. And anytime you want mention the truth, all these religious people, all these so-called Nigerian culture people, all these please don't say it is Nigeria is the best people in the world. They will see them, they jump out. And that is why Nigeria is not growing, not only through our marriages. Many marriages that you see in Nigeria today, if they are not violent, like what she just mentioned, is just bearing. The religious people say, "Oh boy, bear him." If Mr. A tell you what going in their own family, you no go believe him. Just manage, just manage. This is what is killing Nigeria. Always, they will never, never agree to the truth so that they will change it, because they don't want to change it. Nigerian men, for example, when they go into marriage, some of them go into marriage to oppress a woman. They don't go into marriage because they love that woman. They go into marriage because that you have to marry. Okay, then you go find one girl, you go carry am come inside home. Then that first time, according to that video, oh, kiss the bride. Immediately when they kiss that bride, that wayo kissing, just to show say they don't marry. When you go to that house again, you will be surprised. That woman will not speak a word. I'm talking of experience, not personally, because I'm not married to a Nigerian, but I've seen Nigerian women who some of themselves will tell you if they catch you for corner, if say them get the heart, they will poison their men. You'll be surprised to hear this. Ah, madam, don't say that. But they are telling you, if not because the picking way there between me and this man, I will do this. I would have packed away. And the Nigerian men, most of them, those especially those religious people, I had one brother, maybe Patrick or what, I don't remember his name quite, but he was sounding like one of these prophets and all these religious people, telling you that you should go to one what do you call them, something like where they go fit bring in the third party to tell you what to do. And these are the people who will not tell the people wrong. You understand? For them, stay in a marriage, even though they kill you, stay there. You come to diaspora, for example, what is, and let me just make this point before I forget it. Most Nigerian marriage, there's no love inside. Either they marry somebody like the women, not only the men get problem. Some women will follow a man because of the money or the press. For example, I did for Europe now. Maybe as I go Nigeria, I want marry now. The girl where I want marry, maybe he's just following me because he want to have a better life in Europe. Number one, not all. Oh. Then the men, some of them follow women because of the body look, the beauty or whatever. So now when they come into marriage and they start exhibiting their characters, the marriage will not last long because there's no love. It's just facial thing, monetary. So I don't like always talk too much because talking too much doesn't help me. They should do, because I don't want to talk alone, I want to advise. Any marriage that want to succeed, like Madam Luku say, there must be so many things there. Love is 50-50, for crying out loud. That is what anybody where they talk the truth go tell, say love is 50-50. If now you be the breadwinner of a family, you must also respect the person you are living with. Not just, okay, because now me they pay the house rent. Who put this thing here? Let me conclude by, I have a friend. That man is my good friend. But believe me, when that man entered the house they turned to graveyard. Nobody for talk again. Papa don't come back. Oh. You see everybody go quiet if they want peace. So make we watch what we say sometimes. We should know that love that is not 50-50. And that is why Nigerian marriages are broken up everywhere you see them in the world. Thank you.
Let me quickly
Oh, thank
respond.
you so
Dr.
much. I
Adama,
love
Okay.
you. Thank you.
let me respond to this man.
Yes, yes, Uncle Patrick, I was going to call you to respond. Go ahead, sir, respond.
Yeah, let me clearly, please, I'm not just this Patrick. There should be that respect for one another. I'm Patrick. I'm a
That is what we are saying. We are discussing.
excuse
Sorry, Mr. Man. Sorry. I
excuse
didn't
me.
mean it.
You've
No, no,
I
no, no,
didn't
spoken.
no, 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 no,
disrespect
no.
him.
Revolution, you can't interrupt him. Let
No,
him
I
finish.
wanted to apologize to him. I did not respect him. I was just making my comment. Okay, sorry, sir.
Yeah, I'm not a religious person. I'm a Christian like every other person. And what I said is that there should be communication. That we are in this diaspora. We don't. Why should you be going for counseling, paying thousand at the end of the day? You went on divorcing each other. Maybe somebody that your husband or your wife respects so much will have come in and tell it to your face and said, and I mentioned as Adama, what you did is wrong if you don't know. And looking at your husband's face and say, what you did is wrong. That goes a long way. So I'm not far-fetched from truth with that. I'm not being religious. I've been privileged to counsel people and their marriage have survived. Pastors, general overseer, they have divorced. Divorce has nothing to do with title. The people that we respect, we know, I don't want to mention name, that are well-known pastor have divorced. Marriage is an institution. If you didn't play your role, it's not going to stand. And let me first of all, they talked about love is love. We don't love in an any way. Nigerian couple don't know how to kiss or whatever. Everybody has their own love language. And like one of the speakers said, it might not be kissing, kissing. When I was growing up, my father was a civil servant. But as soon I was a child then. My dad is coming back from work. At the door, he's going to remove his shirt and help my mom to break the wood to cook. That alone goes a long way. And that's what men should do. We should be there for our women. Stand by them, help them. And most importantly, communication is the key. I've done that in my own house. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm going to give you an example. You know, marriage, there's always issue in marriage. There was a time my wife would tell me I don't listen to him. I'm always interpreting. And it happened to other people too. I took time. The thing that break everything was one day I just told my wife, can we talk? It's been postponed, and we sat down. We spoke more than 3 hours. I told her, I said, dear, I'm not going to interrupt you. I took papers. I wrote everything. I said, you can tell, even before we moved from Nigeria, everything that I've done wrong, please, I want you to say your mind. You can use any word, and I'm not going to be mad. I stayed for more than 1.5 hours, and I wrote down everything. And I said, dear, are you done? When she said, and now I'm going to say my own. That day was the day that that stopped every anger, quarreling at home. She was able to pour out her mind. Things that I was not even aware that I did wrongly. And as a man of the house, I said, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I never knew. My wife was like, are you kidding me? She said, I just kept quiet. And from there, things begin to change. Like I said, women are always at the receiving end. If men could just sit down and say, okay, my wife, what do you want? What am I doing wrong that you don't like? It doesn't mean the wife is perfect. But as a man, you need to play your role as a man and be the man of the house. Be the prince of your house. It doesn't matter how much money. I'm going to give it. There was a time, there was a time me and my wife used to quarrel. And my son was supposed to be 6 or 7, and he was sitting at the back of the car, and I was driving. I said, what birthday gift do you want? You know what he said? He said, no, I don't want anything. I want your mom to go back to the way you used to play. I was like, what? Meaning my son, my little boy, was even watching the way me and my wife, he knew that we have an issue. I said, He said, no, I don't want any gift. I just want you and mom to go back to the way you've been doing. Play, hug each other, kiss. Like, what? Are you kidding? So he knew that we had issue. So I'm going to round up the key solution to marriage problem is sitting down, discussing with your wife. Humble yourself.
Thank
There
you,
are a
sir.
lot of things women will even.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Could you round up, sir? Go ahead. I can't hear him. Uncle Patrick, we lost you.
While you're trying to get him back, I have something for Chim.
All right, no problem. Let me
Why why is everybody? I've been here for 1 hour. I've spoken
uh,
only once. What
hold
is
on.
all this now?
Okay, hold on.
Uh,
Hold on to Niger. To Niger.
You will get
Calm down. We'll get to you. But
all
I
this one,
have to.
everybody just singing from the same hymn sheet.
no.
Eh,
It's
So
important.
your own hymn is a sacred song of solos.
It's
This
very,
is
very
important.
different.
It will not take long.
Okay.
Etunaja.
Natu, I'm going to have you come in. Then after you, I'm going to go to. Natu, go ahead. You can speak. Go
Let
ahead.
Tunaja come before me. Let him go before me. He has sacred songs of solos. So let him sing his own.
Okay,
Let him
to
sing his
Niger.
own hymn.
To Niger.
I,
Natu said you should go ahead and sing.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Natu. People are not very generous today.
Eh, eh,
So
eh, eh.
let me go ahead, Jerry. See, I think there is an element of there's an element that is coming through as if the men are getting the best end of marriage in Nigeria, and the women are just being treated badly in the context of marriages. I don't agree with that one. And in terms of marriages, the way we describe love, it's as if we expect love to be some kind of altruistic feelings that doesn't come from any measurable quality, that is actually attached to material things, like how people look, whether you have money, whether you have all those things. At the same time, they will say, "Oh, marriage, there's no love in Nigeria because somebody loves somebody because of money." Let's face it, we stop lying to ourselves about what things truly are. When you select a partner, you are weighing them with so many things that are actually material. There are very few of them that are actually immaterial in terms of the way they speak or the way they approach you and talk to you and stuff like that. So let's keep that one straight. And in terms of the divorce rate in Nigeria is quite low, barely 5%. The separation rate is also very low, which I was shocked by. I thought it was going to be higher than that. And they even said that the perception by Nigerians think the separation rate is 15 to 25%, but in reality, it's not even up to 5% in Nigeria. So there is a conformity in Nigeria that people take their marriages to an extent quite seriously. And if I look at my encounter in Nigeria, the one that I know of, while I'm a grown person, I went to Nigeria last year. Almost everybody that I know that are married, they don't seem to be having any issues at all. All of them that I met in Nigeria, I mean, the ones I met, including Masca and all of them that I met in Nigeria, they seem to be doing just fine. And we have to be careful when we start injecting um, certain narratives into the Nigerian space. Then when you lose it, then you find out what you have lost. I think I've heard some people say that Nigerian never to marry a Nigerian. Yeah, you look around Africa, look at the world. They are chasing Nigerians. So the idea that Nigerians are some kind of toxic people to be around, we have to be careful here. And this is one of my concerns that some of these young women that are coming up lately, or old women, I don't know how old that lady is. They just come with Western narrative and start defining Nigerians just because people don't tend to show happiness or they have a polygamous situation. Is when somebody has polygamous, grew up in a polygamous environment, there are downsides, but there are also positives. You have more siblings, you have more support network, you have all kinds of different other things. You should also have a father figure than just having marriages break down all over the place. We really have to be careful here because there are I don't have to enunciate all the various aspects that may actually offer value in terms of the way we are doing our own things. But if you look at the peoples in Nigeria and look at the people overseas with all their wealth, the amount of loneliness that they feel in the West, the amount of pain and sadness, suicide rates, name it, that is good. People are miserable in the West. There are a lot of people out there, they don't have any chance of having anybody around them. And that comes from this belief that one man, one woman, and they all have to love each other as if they are in some kind of Snow White story. That is not how life truly works. And when people say that, when people ask the question, what is marriage? People just think, oh, you're just not being romantic and all the rest. It doesn't mean I'm not being romantic. I'm just clear eyed about it that everything we do evaluations of these things. And when we pretend we are not, we are just lying to people, telling them that, oh, we didn't calculate fully that that guy has got a good job, that guy has got a good looks, that guy has got a good house and got good family and all. We do material things, and then tomorrow we go and start insulting other women or other men that married somebody because they have money or because they look good. We shouldn't be doing that. And I think human beings are very dishonest with the way they have conversations. And that's one
Okay.
of my issues with them. I believe within our Nigerian context, there are things to be improved upon. When we come to that, we can talk about it, but we shouldn't be a kind of lambasting it as if everybody is traumatized out there, because that's not my experience from what I saw when I was in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Please,
Tolaja.
Adama, please indulge me for 1 second, please, because he said something that needs to be debunked right here. I was trying to post a link to tell you that Nigeria has one of the highest rates of divorce in the world. And I don't come here to say it because I want to lambast Nigeria. I actually have done my research. I was trying to post the link, but it keeps, not telling me that. It says Nigeria has the highest rate of divorce amongst countries. And women are the ones that are initiating the divorce. The divorce rate, however, surpasses Canada, India, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Peru, St. Vincent, and Grenadians. And the women, they show that after getting all these results and compiling it, it was a comprehensive and reliable research. And it was the women that are doing that. It's there to see, and they can tell you the studies they conducted and what is happening. So we cannot be lying to ourselves. Before we can solve this problem, we have to face the truth, and that is the point where I'm standing. So it's nothing bad to say that we are failing in marriage, but we need to find out how we can do to fix it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Luke. Natu, I'm going to have you come in, then I'll play the next video because we have another thing to discuss so that we can move this conversation to another distance because I feel
Yep.
like go ahead, Natu.
Okay, hi everyone.
Welcome.
So I've been in and out, but I think I was able to get a hint of the conversation and also the topic that we're talking about. And I think a lot of people, when we keep saying marriage in the African context, marriage in the African context, we have to also understand and um, come to the realization that the world is evolving. And no matter how much we try, or no matter what we do, we have to say or we have to agree that there's a lot of impact that the West is having on our culture, on everything we do entirely, from like culture, education, way of life, and everything. So a lot of stuff. So every time when I talk, people are like, "Oh, not to have started." When I say every time I say, you have to learn your partner's love language. So because you grew up in a house where this is how your parents do it, you feel like if you get married, it has to be the same thing. So I think a lot of issues with our African marriages is people don't want to compromise. You are meeting somebody that you've never met before. You people are coming together to do life together. I mean, not before, but I mean, you've not lived together, and now you're living together to start life afresh. That person is coming from a different background, from a different mindset. They have something that has been imbibed in them for the longest that cannot be undone overnight. And the same thing with you. Some people find out that their partner snore. Some people find out when the partner eat, they eat with their mouth open. It irritates them. So it's a lot of stuff that you have to deal with, and you have to come to agreement with. But so I think also another thing is that some people don't know how to approach issues. So conflict resolution is very, very important for couples. Do you understand what I'm saying? So some people don't have that, and that has affected them because sometimes when something happens, you want to talk to your partner. You talk to your partner like your child. I've told you several times, I don't like this, I don't like this. But bro, the stuff that she told you that she doesn't like, what have you done about it? Do you understand what I'm saying? But there are ways that you say to your partner, so and this December is going to be our ninth wedding anniversary. And I just remember when we used to be in that space before. But now, my husband don't have energy. Anything that I do that he doesn't like or he sees that he is not supposed to, he come and say, "Oh, so why do we have this here? Why are we doing this?" He just make it in a joking way and we laugh about it. But I know, like, okay, that's to watch yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Because if he says it now, he's been saying it, so you have to take action. But bro, if you come to tell me that I've been telling you about this thing since we got married for you to stop this thing, I'm not your child. I'm not your child. So the point I'm making here is that we need to understand us. We need to be open-minded. Open-minded, like we need to be. There has to be a lot of compromise. There has to be a lot of unlearning and relearning. Learn your partner's love language. If you grow up with your parents not seeing your parents kissing, I'm a twin. I'm a PDA person. I am a lover girl. My twin sister is not. I've never seen her with a boyfriend that she walks and hold hands. Sef. Me, I will hold hand, hold waist, hold head, hold everything. She's not in that WhatsApp group. That's not her love language. And when we say, oh, back in the day, our parents don't do all of that. My dad, when we're growing up, my dad is the worst cook. But let me tell you what he does. He's always while she's cooking. He's always at the kitchen, just my mom while she's cooking. Like he'll be there. It's not like he knows what he's doing or he can do anything there. He's there to give her support, gisting with her while she's working. So that goes a long way with some people. I know you can't cook, but you being beside me and gisting with me, showing me that you're supporting me. Do you understand what I'm saying? But because some people already have that mindset and that patriarchal mindset already, and they just feel like, I'm telling you, a lot of men. I think less than 2 weeks ago now, I was having a conversation with somebody, and she said, "Oh, I went out. My husband kept calling me," and she told the husband, she came back. The husband was like, "Where are you coming from?" And she said, "Oh, when you went out, did I ask you where you went to?" He said, "Oh no, I'm different." What does that mean? What does that really mean? I'm telling you. So if you want to live in the day of 1960, just go back to your village and go and stay there. But if you want to live in this modern world that we live in, and I'm not saying that you should westernize your marriage, I'm just trying to tell you that you are meeting someone that women now are self aware. They know what they want, they know how they want to be treated. And if it's not that way for them, you get a different reaction. And the reason why I'm saying women is because I'm a woman. And I think the same for men. But also, I can be able to say more because I'm a woman. So we need to learn that part. We need to learn that at some point we have to come to a compromise. There are some stuff that I don't like, but my husband like it. I just like, you know what? It's not a big deal. You know what? Let's go ahead with it. That's what it is. So there are a lot of things that we need to unlearn on, but a lot of us are not open minded. That's just the problem. And I don't have a problem if anybody has had um past experience with Nigerian men and they don't want to deal with Nigerian. There's nothing wrong in that. I'm telling you, that's the person's perspective, that's the person's experience, and that's fine. So I'm not going to go and bash somebody and say, "Oh, why would the person say don't marry Nigerian men?" If she say that, I have had amazing experience with Nigerian men. I'm not going to say that. That's my own point. Do you understand? But if somebody has that, I have to respect that because you don't know the shege banza that they've seen. But what I'm just going to keep saying and I'll say is that you have to learn your partner's love language. You people can come and say, "I'm an African man." You can say that in 1,000 years to come. But I'm telling you, if you don't learn that part, you will never understand yourself. You will never enjoy your woman. You will never enjoy marriage because you want to love her the way you know love is, but that's not her own way. So you have to come to that place where you understand this is where she wants to be loved. Banky W one time gave us an example of his wife. Like he said that his wife love language is quality time. So when he was trying to go into politics, he was buying her gift because he was not always around. And then one day she was just in bed, just looking at him. Every day he comes back with gifts. And then she said she's not feeling too well. And then he asked her, "Do you want me to stay home with you?" And she said yes. The moment he called his secretary and said, "Can you reschedule my meetings?" and he got in bed with her, she started crying because the only thing that she wanted was time with him. Do you understand what I'm saying? But because you grew up in a house where your father lavishes your mother with gifts, you are marrying a woman that all of those ones are not her problem. Honestly, gift giving is not my love language. Out of all the love languages, that's my least. That's my list. I'm telling you. So you have to, if you understand that part, it makes life like way, 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 way easier for you. And also sometimes I think I can't remember who spoke about it that he says that a lot of people go into marriage for different. Some people marry women because they are coming. Some women marry men because the man is man is wealthy, is well to do. Let me tell you, nowadays even it's reverse is the case. Men are going for women that are doing okay. Nobody wants a liability. Some people go for girls that are coming from like wealthy families, that their families are connected. I'm from the north, so I can tell you that there's no lie about it. But that's it. So it's going. The times are changing. It goes when men are going for women are going for men that have it. Now it's men that are going for women that are doing okay. I don't want problem. I don't want body because if she comes, she brings something. I bring something. When we know that back in the days of our parents, our fathers are always like the sole breadwinners, but now reverse is the case. So the point I just want to make tonight is that please learn your partner's love language. Be open-minded. Be ready to learn and unlearn a lot of the stuff that you learn in your own heart because you're meeting with a different person now, and then you have to evolve. Because guess what? When we started, before they started bringing cars, it was like bicycles. They now started bringing kiniko, manual cars. From manual cars, we went to automatic cars. From automatic cars, we are going to electric cars. I don't know if they're going to bring solar car now. We have self-driven cars now. So the world is you can't change it. So we can define all the African things we want to define, but we have to agree that there's a lot of impact on the West on our marriages, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's either we learn, unlearn, evolve, and have peaceful marriages, or we can continue to be coconut head with double layers and be struggling and be living in unhappy marriages and be going to Coldplay's concert and they'll be catching you on kissing cam. Good evening, everybody.
Not to leave me alone. AB, I'm warning you and Boom Boom Ray. I'm monitoring the comment section. Both of you are going to be on a timeout. Just leave me alone. Let me concentrate. Mr. Kandu, your next, sir. Could you please unmute and welcome to the show, sir?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I think part of the question needs to be, what is marriage? What is that institution? When I hear people talk about, oh, women and women or men and men getting married, I say they can find another name, they can find another institution and call it whatever they want to call it. To me, marriage is a man and a woman. I've heard a lot of good stuff spoken by different people, but I tend to lean more to what Mr. Chim had to say regarding a lot of these things. And one of the questions I ask myself is, what is the entire Nigerian population in America, Europe, in the Arabian states? What is the entire population? You know, um, Obviously times are changing, and the world is evolving, and like I've often said, when it comes to relationship on this channel here, it all stems from who are you choosing and what are the criteria that are making your choices. You hear people talk. I mean, I've never known that there were so many people in Nigeria that are just so rich that they're just giving their women cars and houses and all that. I don't know where all these people are from. You know, and I think when we talk in terms of the video that was played, one of the questions has to be, when we talk about this marriage institution in Nigeria, are we of what age group are we talking about? Because I remember many years ago when I was in Nigeria, I mean, we had leads, we had different situations that you go to. I mean, I don't know guys that were not kissing girls, and I don't know girls that were not kissing guys. So I don't know where these people are from. Yeah, granted, I was in Lagos and in Ibadan for a limited time. But even in Ibadan, I mean, I remember guys kissing girls that were their girlfriend, and so I'm a little bit confused. So if you're talking about people in their 70s or maybe even 80s, I don't know what time frame we're talking about. But when it comes to marriages, obviously, it's about the choices that you make as a woman and as a man. If you like kissing, you shouldn't be marrying somebody that doesn't like to kiss. I mean, amongst other characteristics you have to look at. So, my concern in a way is when too many people use so-called celebrities. I don't consider them celebrities, they're just popular people, use their life and use that as an example. This one used to do this for the woman, or I mean for his woman, or for her man. I don't you know I don't Whatever Beyonce and the husband does has nothing to do with your life. Don't be comparing your life to other people's life. If you want to be in a marriage, be it in Nigeria, be it in any other part of the world, the question is, what is that institution? And like I think Mr. Chim said, it's an institution. If you don't want to participate in what the institution does, don't go there. Me, I don't like to dobale for anybody. But I cannot go to the Oba of Benin's palace and say, because I don't like to Dobale, I'm not going to Dobale. I will just not go to the Oba of Benin's palace. This is an institution. There are roles. There is a role of a husband. It means something. there's a role of a wife. It means something. The children have their own roles to play. But the catastrophe that I'm seeing that's been developing for quite a while are all these people that will end up nowhere because they think their own thing doesn't stink. They think because they have a job, as if women in the past never had jobs. I've said it here before. 40, 50 years ago, my mom had a job and businesses. So I don't know women that didn't have jobs. Whether they were selling gari on the side, we make it seem as if, a lot of men were just keeping their wife at home doing, yeah, there were a lot of them that were living in one room with one wife and three children. But were those men the women I see today? Oh, you gotta buy me this before I can even deal with you. As if them papa they take them mama go Italy every 2 months. Where are these human beings from? A lot of them are going to be left with nothing. And by the time they realize it and be trying to come back to the market, you'll be one of those left behind women that nobody wants. Men will play you like black basketball. Nobody's saying marriage is easy. Is work. You gotta both men and women have to work at it. It's work. But in my own view, it is much more better than just being out there by yourself, thinking that your whatever that you have is gonna comfort you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Kandu. All right, so Okija, do you have anything to say before I play the next video so that we can move this topic to another, because there's three part that I wanted to cover in this topic. So I want to play the other video. But I'll let you speak on the topic, then I can play the one. Welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I was enjoying your discussion. I said, okay, let me come in and say something. I really don't know what is wrong. Every day, this bashing marriage. I mean, like, Kandu has said it. If you don't want to get into marriage, don't get into marriage. What is marriage? Marriage is a relationship. What other forms of relationship do we have? We have siblings relationship, mother, father, mother, whatever, daughter, mother, son. Which one of them is easy? Which one of them is easy? We have siblings, or on their neck, sibling beating up siblings, siblings even killing siblings over land dispute. I mean, which one is easy? Why is it that always marriage, if marriage fails, then marriage is wrong? If siblings relationship is good, if mother daughter relationship good, because mother and daughter, they are at each other's neck. Which one is good? Which kind? How do you measure successful marriage? How do you measure it? Is it because of what you want? You use what you want to measure what other people want. You know, a friend of mine, she was telling me about one guy that was testing her, and she refused. All of the guy was persistent. So one day she told the guy, "Listen, if I date you, it's because you have money." The guy said, "If I date you, I'm coming to you because you're beautiful. You have something to offer. I have something to offer. Money, your beauty." So people go into a relationship, for different reasons. So you can't just say because you go there, maybe because you are moody, you have your own personal issue, you don't get, you can't get satisfied, then you use it to judge other people. Somebody here was saying about, or the people I saw growing up. I saw successful marriages where I grew up in Onitsha. I saw people happy. Yeah, I saw a couple, like people that a man I didn't like because of the way he was treating his wife. But everywhere we lived, people were happy. Men and women happy training their children. Some of them I met them afterwards. Like after we have grown up, see them they still living with their husband. I saw like there was a house we lived in. This landlord, people like the husband and wife because every day they would come back from work, they would just sit out there talking. They talk to everybody who go to sleep and they would still be talking. People. I mean, like just like Kandu has said, like they're talking about work as if we had never worked. My grandmother had goat farms. My grandmother had businesses. My mother had businesses. Women didn't start working today. Women they've been working. People start complaining every day, complain. I mean, if you can't do something, just keep quiet. Just go and do something else. Nothing is easy in life. Your job is not easy. Your relationship with your boss is not easy. You work at it. Communicate. Yeah, no, understand that. There are some issues. Some people, they don't know how to deal with your emotion. But how many of them? How many of them are you going to use? Pass judgment that marriage is not good. Marriage is not working in Nigeria. Who told you the marriage is not working in Nigeria? Because it's not working for people you know. Maybe because they are like just like you. I see my cousins. Like their marriages work. They live in Nigeria. They have issue. There was one. They had issue. They called. The family. They came together. They resolved their issue for them. People have issue. Brothers and sisters fight. We resolve issue for brothers and sisters all the time. I mean, this fight, unnecessary fight all the time. It's unnecessary. Yeah, there are some marriages that were bad because people are bad. Okay, that doesn't mean that marriage is bad, but that doesn't mean that everybody has to get married. There are some people you're not meant to get married. Just stay on your own. Some, like Reverend Sisters, Reverend Father, they know, they just go, become Reverend Sister or become Reverend Father or just go to monastery because they can't deal with it. You don't need marriage to have a successful life. Mother Teresa example. She was like successful woman. If she was literally happy, I don't know. Not everybody is meant to be happy. You can be in marriage and not happy. You can be in alone and not happy. You can get everything you want in life and still not happy. So you just have to like
I think we lost you. I can't hear you.
Adam, like real quick before he
this
comes
or
back,
whatever
right?
relationship.
I just want
Try
to
to
say
get
something.
50
Okay.
50.
Okay, okay. Hold on. I
Trying
think
to get 50 50. You can't get 50 50. Or somebody must be like maybe 40 or 60 or 70 or 30. As long as those people are happy, you can't just
Okija
dictate to them.
Olawazogo. This your tone.
No, because I hate work every day. People are bashing. It's not that I'm a fan of.
Okay. I think we've lost you again. I think you're going in and out. I can tell you're driving, so
This
you're
brother is
losing.
upset.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's upset. But my comment earlier, I think I said something like, people have experiences. I can't judge people when somebody says marriages in Nigeria are not working because of what they experience. If you have a pushback on what someone has said, you don't have to use a harsh tone and say, oh, it's not working because people are like you. In the same sentence, you contradicted yourself, sir. You say, you know that some marriages are bad. It's not that the people are bad. So what are we saying? That's what we're saying. Sometimes it just does not work out because people have different dynamics of relationship before the marriage happens.
If
Some people have long distance marriage, a long distance relationship before the marriage happened, and when the marriage happened, they now realize that, oh, this whole thing is a mess, is a mistake, it's not going to work out, and you better leave to
you
leave.
can't
So
generalize
when people
marriage
leave,
things, you
bros,
can't generalize
bros,
things, please.
chew ice, chew ice. It's not that serious. Chew ice. It's not that serious, really. It's not
All
that
right.
serious.
All right. So, Okija, have you finished talking? I want to play another video. Let me take us. Let's
Yeah,
move this.
that's what we're talking about. Like coming to my. She was talking. Nobody interrupted her when I'm talking.
Okay,
She
go.
could
No,
come in.
no, no, no.
She
Go
she
ahead.
come
No,
in.
no, no. Okija, listen.
Yeah,
No, no, no,
I
no, no,
don't.
no. Listen. I asked you. Let's no. Listen. Ask him or walk. No. That's and
But
you.
it's
So
not
go
up to
ahead.
her to jump in. That's what we're talking about. When people,
Okija, we
when
lost
people
you
just
when you were
get it.
talking. We lost you when you were talking. So I kept saying, "Are you there?" So that's why we lost you when you were talking. So go ahead, finish whatever you want to say. I'm happy to listen to
Yeah,
you. So go ahead.
yeah, I've lost my chain of thought because that's what we're talking about. That's a relationship. Like when people talking, you can't listen. You just bashing. Thank you. Let other person talk.
All right. Okay. Sorry that you lost your train of thought. Hopefully, when I play this next video, it will help bring it back. But when you were talking, we lost, I couldn't hear you. So I want everybody's voice to be heard. So I'm not trying to, it has nothing to do with men or women. So I try as much as I can to be fair here. So if I play the next video, if you're available, I would like to start with you. So with that being said, let me play the next video.
Adama, you're muted.
a man is faithful but emotionally unavailable, is that a good man? This is a very nice question. A lot of ladies are battling this. Trust me, a lot. Some ladies are battling this. If a man is faithful but emotionally unavailable, is that a good man? Is he a good man? Anyone else, please?
Okay, a faithful man that is emotionally unavailable is going to push the woman to somebody else. Like it's going to cause the woman to find this attention somewhere else. And I mean, if my partner is not emotionally available, I will obviously think he's giving the attention to somebody else. And then it's just going to push me somewhere else, basically. Like another man, somebody that will give me that attention. Exactly, that's emotional availability.
Okay, so I think naturally it's not enough to say someone is faithful, because you can be faithful because no one wants you and you're just boring. So there are some people that you need to be available. Your partner wants to go out, you want to have a good time, you have dreams, you want to explore life together, and that person is just not cutting it. They don't even know when you're down, when something is going on with you. They're just dons, like they're just there, but they are faithful. I feel like that's not good enough. So the question was, what would I? Is that a good man? No, the answer is no. You have to. It has to be all round. Yeah.
If he's faithful and emotionally unavailable, doesn't make him a bad man. However, it makes him a bad partner. Do you get? Because if you are faithful and you're not emotional, what are we doing? Do you get? So that's my own.
Hold on. Okay. The man is faithful but not emotionally available. I don't believe that any man here, yeah, is emotional. Men don't think emotionally. We are logical. Yeah. If a man is actually busy, he's actually working, he has businesses, he has big dreams, as my brother said. Yeah. Obviously, you don't actually expect such man to be always available to you emotionally. Men are generally logical. If you have an issue, discuss it with me. I am actually married. I'm telling you this. Men are logical. Forget about emotion. Yes, we can actually express emotion from time to time, but not always. There is a kind of distinction there. A man that is busy, that has dreams, that has aspirations, you cannot expect him all the time. Say, oh, babe, I am down. Oh, babe, I am this, I am that. No, men are logical. Simple. 1 minute, though.
Okay, well, I would say logic will win emotion anytime, any day.
Okay.
But you're incomplete human if you cannot mix logic and emotions. Now, you can't say you are a man and you're completely emotionally unavailable. Okay, let's leave the relationship. If your mother dies, will you feel the pain? Is that an emotion? Will you say because you're working, you're a billionaire, you're everywhere, your mother has died? No, logic, strong man, hard man. It doesn't work. Now, the reality is, we all know that as men, logic will win emotion anytime, any day. So I will prescribe 70% logic, 30% emotions. Thank you.
I have a contrary opinion. I even do not agree that logic would always win emotions. Because as a marketing professional, one of the things that I learned in psychology is that a lot of decisions that we make are mostly emotional, for emotional reasons. In fact, the reason why the man would want to have all the big dreams and make the family happy is an emotional decision. A prestige in the society, you want people to see you a certain way, that's emotion. That's not really logic. That's not 1 + 1 = 2. That's because you want people to perceive you a certain way. You want your wife to go out in a very nice car and say, oh, that's my wife, that's the car. That's emotion. So I agree with you on the part that you must have a balance of both. And I like to say this, and I think it's really important, especially for women. Do not settle. You can have everything. You must have a scarcity mindset. Sorry, you must eschew a scarcity mindset. That mindset that, if I have this one, it may not have that one, that is flawed. I believe in abundance. I believe I can get whatever I want. And I think we should carry on with that. Thank you.
I think I would want us to see it from another direction.
Okay, what direction?
Now, you said the man is emotionally not.
Did we all hear the video?
Yeah, I had it.
Loud
Okay.
and clear.
All right. So, Okija, let me start with you. Then I'll come to you too, Niger. Okija, what is your opinion on that video? When you're with a partner who is faithful but not emotionally available.
Yeah, I think like some of the the answers I consider them wrong because like one of the guys that said the women you can have it all. No, you can nobody man or woman, you can't have it all. You just have to like compromise to get most of the things you want. You can't get it all. Women who have been successful, if you read their books, they will tell you things, sacrifices they had to make it, sometimes family, before for their career, things like that. So you can't have it all. That's number one. Okay. Something else again, like I mean, like it depends on people. You have to be, what are you getting into? I have a story, a husband and wife, the family, um. So the man didn't grow up with the man didn't have a sibling. The man didn't have a sibling, no sibling. So he grew up, only him, and he was basically, he raised himself because his mother died. When he was, he didn't know, his mother. He didn't know his mother, so he grew up by himself. His father was, always traveling, so he grew up by himself. So when he got married, he was having problems, with the wife, like, because he didn't have, like he didn't know how to have a relationship with, women, and then I choose children, the same thing. But when the wife didn't go to school, but an analysis, but she had common sense to understand. Like when people started complaining about him, said no, leave him alone. He didn't have he didn't have sisters. So he didn't know how to like handle some things. So because she understood him. He wasn't emotionally available, but she understood why. And but some people will be fighting with him. So you have to like whatever you are getting into. I don't know, like now people we date, okay, before we get married. So you are talking about emotional availability, but you knew the man, you dated him, and all of a sudden you knew he wasn't available, or you were hoping that he would be available, and then all of a sudden and then sometimes people want, like the guy was telling me, everything, you can get everything. No, sometimes you have to make sacrifices. For instance, you got, maybe you got married, and two of you live in the same city, and there's something came up, you get, maybe you lost a job or whatever, and maybe he got another job some other city that he had to like be away. That would make him not emotionally available like he used to be. So this is we have to be ready to be adult. We have to be ready to compromise. So that's the way I see it.
Thank
Okay.
you for that. Tonight I'm going to come to you. What is your opinion when you're with a partner who is faithful but the person is not emotionally available to you?
Okay. Thank you for that. I think I'm not so. They didn't clarify precisely what kind of emotional unavailability that they are describing, but let's say it's general. And but he does interact, fulfill what he needs to do. Maybe he doesn't have conversation, he doesn't spend time. Let's say the lady needs, I think somebody mentioned, special quality time, and he doesn't do that. He just goes on looking for work and stuff like that. But he's doing his job as the man of the house, doing the necessary things. I think that man is a good man, and he's also a good this a partner. Um, the only issue there is that the lady decided to set another standard that he could not meet. Clearly, there are people with autism out there that are emotionally unavailable in the way that even the man that I just described is. So, but yet the woman will accept. Some women will accept such a man because they say, "Okay, that's how I met him." But I just feel like the standards that are being set now, many of those young people in that video are taking their standards from Western point of view. That is what they are using as their marker, and they forget that their own context is different. And when you do that, you're going to have a lot of issues. At the moment, even the West, they're having problems. So not to mention Nigeria. And Nigeria, we are going to keep having this problem on and on. And because we are having expectations that may not be met. And if they are not met, then people will feel unhappy because those expectations are not met. But they are not real. They are just standards that we've just got into our head and believe that that's how it's supposed to be. And in terms of that, that man is loyal. The man is loyal. Loyalty, they say, is one of the holy. In short, it's said it's to be the holiest good of the human heart, which is by choice. And yet, a lot of the women that say, "Oh no, no, he has to be perfect all round." No, you can't be. Nobody can be 100% all rounder. Sometimes it can, one can be lucky you fall into that category, and sometimes you fall into that category and you fall out of it based on the experiences you're having and the challenges that life throws at you. It's just most of this conversation is a kind of everybody talking in different directions. It's not always very coherent in terms of drilling down at one point, like the point about whether I think something about if the lady was more logical or emotional. Both genders are emotional, but one allows emotion to often govern their interaction more than the other. That is just the basic difference, because logic is, both genders are also logical. It's just one, the female gender generally, not always, tend to allow emotion to be able to show. Maybe it's for this thing, practical reasons. Because these things, what somebody said, you cannot outgrow your biology. You cannot outgrow your biology because there are certain things that are already hardwired, and for you to just start thinking that you can behave differently, it's impossible. If you expect a man to become emotional and doing all those things, that man will lose all traits of him being a man, and you are going to have a doodle on your hand. And believe me, you're not going to want that man. As a matter of fact, the numbers show that women don't like those men. And the same thing for women too. Women are emotional for a reason. Maybe because it helps them be able to, because when people are emotional, they have emotional intelligence, and they can smile, they are more expressive with things, and they might be able to communicate better with young ones or whatever. Who knows why these things are the way they are? But one thing I know for sure is that the way those who are communicating it, I don't blame them, it's what they know. But they are using standards that are not ours. They are not using their own current experience in the, and the way the life is. And I like what that man said, that if you're working all the time, how are you supposed to be emotional? There's no time to start chilling out and being emotional. Those children need to go to that private school. Those children need that private tuition. Those children need to go to university.
No, no,
Somebody
no,
has
tonight,
to.
no, 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 tonight, I quite disagree what you're saying. Listen, if you don't understand the part of the emotion we're talking about, private school and all those things you labeled, if both of us are working and our finances are worked out and you're not emotionally available to me, so what is all these things you're bringing up about those schools needs to be, excuse me, that's not what
Now
you're,
you're adding context. That's, you see, that's the reason why I said in the first place they didn't add any specific context. Now you are saying everything is available. But and even if let's say everything is available, and the reason why you have all those things is because he has spent time creating those things. In many cases, women want more
what makes you think is only the man that creates wealth? Women create wealth as well. So what are you talking about?
in terms of being providers in the current context of society. Yes, women create a lot of wealth. Many of the time, they end up being busy breadwinners at home. But in the traditional sense, is the man that goes out to generate these resources for the home, and provides protection for the home, which is their primary duty. And when you take them away from that, and you take the women away from where they are supposed to be, then generally that's what I call misalignment, and you will start having all these issues. This is why we keep having all these debates, and why we have all these debates, the family structure is breaking down on further and further over time. It's not improving. As a matter of fact, the only reason why it's going to start improving is because even the Western society, they are beginning to track themselves back now. They discovered that they probably made a catastrophic mistake. So that's my concern. There's sound coming through. I don't know where the music is coming from. So yeah, so the point I was making was that I don't think it's the young people there are being realistic. They are using Western standards to judge the men today. And many Western women don't even do that. As a matter of fact, most Western women, that when I say Western women, I'm talking about white women now. They don't do that actually. The way they approach their men, they are quite realistic about these things. More than the way some of all these so-called new arrivals to this system believe. They just think that all these things is airy fairy. It's not airy fairy. It's serious stuff. Yeah, this is real life. Stop acting as if it's a joke because you have sometimes many of these people go on to have children and you are busy using all this standard. It can be very dangerous because you are just using all this emotional stuff that is for you and you use it to judge the man and say, can you imagine that the man is loyal? He's doing his job. And they are even contending that, oh, that one is saying, I'm going to leave him to go and find some other person to go and do that with. Don't you have family members to meet all your other emotional needs? Yes, I can understand that maybe you need other TLC. I'm sure that man is doing his job on that one. I like to assume that he's doing that part in terms of the bedroom affairs and all the other stuff. But in terms of emotionally being present to talk to you, to help you hold your hand in case you're not feeling very well or something like that. That's why you have family members. That's why you have friends. If he's not there, use those network to support you. I thought that was how it was done traditionally.
Say
Thank you.
what?
Oh, look at that. Don't worry, we're going to have a debate. Hold on,
Thank
please.
you.
Madam Luke.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Abby, I'm going to come to you because I know where you're coming, where you're staying. So if you can hear me, Abby, what is your opinion on the video we just played? Go ahead.
Okay, hi everybody. I would like to remind everyone that emotional availability is basically the willingness to engage in healthy emotional connections. You know, it's being open with your partner, being vulnerable, and most especially showing empathy. I don't agree that men are more logical and women more intelligent. I think that women are just more expressive. I think depending on what it is, anybody can be logical, anybody can be emotional. I'm pretty sure that when you're in a partnership with someone, everyone has their pros and their cons, everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses. In certain aspects, you could be more logical and you're the man, and in other aspects, I could be more logical. So I don't really like that narrative because I just think that what it is that a lot of men have a lot of suppressed emotions and just don't express themselves. I beg to differ. Um Also, the last thing I'm going to touch on, I'm not even going to speak too long, is I think it's worth mentioning that in a lot of cases, emotional unavailability is emotional abuse. And I don't know why anyone would want that because what that means is that your feelings are often dismissed. It means that you're often left feeling unseen, unheard. You know, you feel small most of the time because this person just does not fulfill you emotionally. And I promise you, that is emotional abuse. So I do not think anybody should be in marriage with anybody that is not emotionally available. So that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. I quite agree with you, everything you said.
Emotional abuse. Somebody that is loyal to
To
you. Jesus
Niger, what
Christ.
is your
This is where we
problem
are
now?
now.
What is
Ah,
your problem? Let me
Sorry,
talk.
I think it's sorry, Dr. Adam. I think it's worth noting that I'm probably of a different generation from most people.
No,
So,
no, no, no,
like,
no, Abby, you don't need to listen.
no,
Abby, listen.
I'm coming, sis, because I remember Sis Natu saying that I think what really annoys people about the whole idea of Africanness in marriage is the fact that we're not willing to evolve, and I think that's kind of what
So true.
Auntie Luke was talking about. We're not willing to evolve. If you're willing to evolve in your career, every couple years, a lot of Nigerian men that I know, even older, are doing some sort of career upgrade. But somehow you don't think you should upgrade your mind. You don't think you should upgrade. So maybe I'm speaking from the perspective of your younger person, but I'm going to let you know that if somebody tells you that your feelings are not relevant, your feelings are not important, they are dismissing your feelings, and that is emotional abuse because that is suppression. They are basically telling
Oh,
you
you
you're not
change it to
important.
unavailability to dismissing. It's not dismissive.
It's
If
the
the
same
person,
thing, sir. If
no, it's
somebody
not though.
tells you, if you tell somebody this is what I need, or if you tell somebody I'm stressed at work and they tell you it's not a big deal because they can't just connect with you like that, that is somebody that is not open. That is someone that's not showing empathy. Why would I want to marry somebody that does not show me empathy? You can't
Because not
survive.
everybody is capable of it.
Then that's why I'm saying that anyone
What
that's
are you?
not capable of
If you're
empathy,
not capable of empathy, then
you
what are
have
you
no
doing?
business being married. If you're not capable of empathy, you have no business being
But
married.
you are
That's why
more
Nigerian men,
you are more likely not to be married, not him. He's going to
No,
get married to other
no,
women.
well, that's
no,
why I'm
no,
saying
no,
that's
no,
why a lot of women are
Tunaja. No, that's
suffering.
not. No, Tunaja, you're not listening to what we're saying. This is what you need to listen to. What business do you have in a relationship if you're not capable of having emotion? Like you can't connect with that person. You see, this is the problem we're
Why
having.
did you marry him in the first instance and complaining now? Why did you marry him?
Oh,
God,
that was
please,
who are you calling a breast biter?
hey,
Hey God,
God,
this
God,
people
Why
God.
did
are
you marry him? Stop
wicked.
complaining. Don't marry him.
Hi.
Look for somebody else who has your time.
No, but Okija, let's listen. Listen, this is why we need to unlearn a lot of things. At the end of the day, we have this conversation so that we can do better. Okay, we cannot stay, and we don't want to improve anything. That's why I don't understand how you guys can go from being talking about all the good qualities you have. When it comes to emotion, you guys are cold. You guys just act anyhow. You can dismiss someone without even recognizing their presence. Like you talk
Adama, Adama, it took millions of years of evolution for men to build the way they are now. You can't change them overnight. You can't change them overnight. So the argument, the problem, especially in the black communities, is that you people are trying to change men overnight. White people don't have this kind of discussions. You don't see them having this kind of discussions. Only black people.
Okija,
You
you
know,
know the Okija, let me just add it. Do you know the joke of it all? When those men become emotionally available, they'll start divorcing them.
you know
yeah, they
what?
will start divorcing men.
Okay,
Man,
thank you.
I
Thank
don't know.
you.
Listen, we have so many issues in black communities. Like we
Okay.
take up we take up so many things we don't understand. We just talk. We don't know. We don't know what we're talking about.
All right.
We don't
Yes.
even know what happened to us.
Okay, I agree with you, sir. Thank you so much. I really agree with you. Uncle KJ, I just saw you came back. Did you see the video we played? What is your opinion on that? If you're available. Uncle KJ, can you hear me, sir? All right, um Uncle KJ, can you hear me, sir?
I'm available if it's not.
Okay, go ahead, Revolution. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be brief because I just escaped from my. I'm at work, but I think I should say something about these emotional feelings. You see, like I said from beginning, in any relationship, you must be ready to give 50 plus 50. And when you give 50 plus 50 in a relationship, you that has this emotional feeling, like many girls will say, is them who have more emotional feeling. They want this. I'm stressed at work. You're not listening to me. They should also understand that the man himself is another being. But because of the 50-50 love, you have to also tamper. You understand what I mean by tamper? You must also understand the man. But if you say you want, like I'm in a mixed relationship, when we talk about Western, they want to base it on Western now, this
When you
Western.
say mixed relationship, I want to understand what you're saying. Are you saying
My
you're in a
wife, my wife is
biracial
white.
relation, like you're a Caucasian woman and is
Yes,
that
my
what you
wife is
mean?
a Swedish,
Okay, go
and
ahead,
me
sir.
being an African. So I can tell you a little bit about them if we want to base it on Western culture, because the men are saying African culture, the ladies are saying, or the young ones are saying, or like forefather was trying to explain, that we are now trying to move it up to the Western, the young guys now, the young people. But when you like my wife, when I first met her, she didn't understand me because I was kind of before we married anyway, because we were together a while before we really got married. But at beginning, she was always telling me, "Oh, you don't hold me that much. You don't. Sometimes you're always thinking about yourself." And but she fell in love with me because she knows that is my way. But I always have time when I come back home to her. I do whatever she wants to do at that her time. So she was able to cope with it and say, oh, this man is like this, because it was a 50-50 love. Do you understand? So when you're talking of emotional, like this other sister who spoke before, after forefather, you see, she was making a point. A man who doesn't give you that emotional feeling, you understand? Why should I be with that person? But somebody answered, then don't marry the person. Don't rush into a relationship, because that's the problem. When you rush into a relationship, like I said before, because of material things, and then when you come and sit in the relationship, now you are not married and you are not getting what you're supposed to get, then you start saying that the man doesn't feel me, he doesn't do this, when I complain he doesn't matter. You should have seen that before going into wedlock. I don't know if I made any sense there. Thank you.
You do, sir. Yes, you made it. I appreciate your opinion. Every opinion counts, but the one I don't agree with. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. That's why I love this segment. So thank you, sir, with that opinion. Uncle KJ, are you available? You're next, sir. Uncle KJ.
Yeah, good evening. I didn't watch the program, so I'll not be able to comment.
Okay, so I can tell you what it is. You don't have to watch it. Being with a partner who is faithful but is unemotionally available to you. How do
Okay.
you how do you deal with something like that?
Well, everything can be learned. So for 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 some men, it's almost like a one-way traffic. We don't multitask that much that well. Um, as will the women. So sometimes when you put your mind, I'll give an example. If you are traveling with your family, and that's how some men, at least me, I think, if I'm going to go from Houston to New Jersey and I'm going to drive, the moment I start the car, my mind is already in New Jersey. I'm not concerned about whether I'm carrying water in the car, carrying food, or carrying snacks. The only thing my mind think about is where to get gas to continue my trip. But my mind is already where I'm going to. I'm not going to be to myself watching out for how many McDonald's that is on the way and how many places to park to have a rest. That's how some men think. Um, so sometimes getting into those activities, sometimes to us, some of us, is like a waste of our time, or a kind of, and interregnum. That's what the right word. Interregnum. A break, from seriousness. But that's not to say that some men don't. Maybe in our younger days, there's when we were growing up, there used to be this reggae DJ from the US, from the Caribbean, from Jamaica to be precise, called Yellow Man. One of his songs, he said, the younger the couple, the tighter they squeeze. So, if you are young, because you are looking for adventure, maybe those things will hold fancy for you. But when you start paying a lot of bills, and especially here in the West, where every month the bills keep coming, even Nigeria is even better. You know, you can get a breeder. Here you don't have any breeder, so you're from one bill to the other, one bill to the other. So sometimes the issue of being romantic and looking forward to romance is not there, because those pressure coming from those things kills all the romance that you probably be thinking about. you know so um for me, yeah, it's neither here nor there. If you marry a lady who likes all that, well, if you marry the one who don't like it, also you'll be able to adjust. But if you marry the one that has some of that, you may just have to find a way to balance the act, so that there'll be peace in the house. Well, I tell the truth, just like I said earlier, and if you used to listen to TG Jakes earlier on, before, not now, one of his messages, he calls the he motion. If you want a guy with a with the manicured hands, well kept beards, and with the colognes and all that, wearing designers and hanging around, looking like the Gucci guy or the guy on the Marlboro with the the bowler hat and all that. You probably not find it in somebody who is thinking of how to make sure that there's meal and every other thing runs in the house and the children are taken care of. You know, I have not seen. Growing up, I'm sure that many of us have friends who are like that. The Gucci guy. There's a friend of mine who is it's like a lady, so handsome, and tall. Every woman then were running after him in the church in Abuja. So he's like a ladies' man. You understand? Knows how to dress, has a BMW. You know,
He was
so
emotionally available.
yes, that is it. He's
Hmm.
always available,
Oh,
Why
and
are
so
these
they fall
emotionally
over
available
him.
men in the West being
But
divorced all the time then?
those
hmm.
guys, those guys
Mystery, innit?
whose minds are made on set a certain target, you cannot be. And I repeat it myself, from want of being misunderstood by my dear lovely sister, Madam Luke. You cannot be available if you are someone with a target. I'm telling you the truth. You be able to be available sometime, but not all the time. You can't be available all the time, you know. And that's why I leave it. It's neither here nor there. So you have to learn the balancing act, just to have your home in some form of peace. All right, that's what I'll say, ma.
All right, I'm going to give it to Madam Luke. I'm going to be back in 10 to 15 minutes. I have to go real quick. So, with that, Madam Luke, the next person to talk is Kandu Kandu. Abby has spoken, and after Kandu is going to be Chim, then you, and hopefully I should be back then to say something. And if anyone wants to contribute again, but I'll be right back. Thank you. Madam Luke, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. What's the other again?
The other is Kandu, and the next person after Kandu is Chim. And if Okija wants to say it, and then Okija, then you, then by the time you're done, I should be coming back in.
All right.
All
Let's
right, thank
go.
you.
Okay.
Kandu, you're next. Could you please unmute, sir?
Yes.
And
I
can I
think
say something? Can I say something before I leave? If you're not speaking, please mute your mic. And if you're done speaking, if she tells you your time is up, please, yes, you may not have finished what you want to say. She's going to give you more time to come back, but just respect whatever she says and mute your mic. Thank you. Thank you.
Since it's running late, we're just gonna do 5 minutes each. It's now 10:15 by my watch, so let the speaker continue.
okay. I think forefather said a lot of the things I was thinking, and at the end of the day, it's all about the choices that people make. Like Mr. Okija said, why are you marrying somebody that you don't know? I mean, did you just meet in Vegas and just went and got married? You know, um, that's not to say that even if you took time to know someone that you will not have problems. Like I always say, life is about problems and solutions. That's all it is. If you don't have problems, you are not alive. If it's not your problem, it might be your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your parents' problem, your siblings. That's all. At least that's the way I see life. Is about the problem that arises and what solution do you bring to bear. That's what it is. I think when I spoke earlier, I discussed the issue of what is the institution that you're going into. If you want to go to Harvard, there are certain things you have to have in order to go there. If you want to go into a marriage, it is not a partnership. May God forbid me and somebody being married, being partners. I am the husband. It means something. This is not a law firm. This is a marriage. And the individuals in it play certain roles. If you don't want that, then don't go to that institution. Go find something else and label it whatever you want to label it. But don't be trying to come and ask everybody else to come and abide by you. One of the things that I pray for, I have three sisters. The one that have been married the least has been married for more than 25 or 26 years now. And one of the things that I hope for is that none of them ever lose their husbands, because life is not fair. Life is not fair. These people have been married. They all had children. All the children are doing, very well in their own rights. But it is not the same. No matter how wonderful I may believe that my sisters are, I don't know the man that is going to come and pick up the pieces if one of them loses a husband. To come and do what? No matter how great careers, make great money, all of that. They're no, it's not like when they were 22, 23, 24. And all of my sisters actually married, even before they were 25. What man is going to come and pick up these pieces? To do what with? Regardless of how wonderful they may be as individuals, regardless of how intelligent they may be. So all this, and I have nieces and nephews, especially the nieces that I have. Some of them I've told them you will never find a good husband because your mindset is warped. Your mindset is not about a man. At least these days, virtually all of my nieces that are over 25 are making over $100,000, easy. So it's not about the money, but we're not meant to be alone, not in this life.
1 minute,
I,
sir. Thank
I
you.
know I know the institution is not here. I know it. I'm looking at the time. I know the institution is not for everybody. Everybody is not meant to be married. And if you know you're not willing to work within that institution, then don't go there. So what I'm afraid for are the younger ones of nowadays. The new 20 year old, you're coming into the West where the first marriages, people in first marriages divorce at the rate of about 51%. Second marriages 70%. Third marriages 80%. And that's what you want to emulate. Good luck to you.
All right. I guess Mr. Chim is next. Thank you, sir.
Oh, so okay, thank you. Sorry, please, can you just refresh me? What exactly are we supposed to be responding to? Oh, the emotional availability. Sorry, thank you. Well, I think most people have spoken a bit of my mind, but might not be everything. I just believe that when purpose is not known, and purpose of a particular thing is not known, abuse is certainly not going to be inevitable. People, I do not have any problem with this whole called being emotionally available. It's you should be emotionally. I mean, in fact, the fact that the person can consciously make an effort to attend to some of your requirements or needs or requests, that's an evidence of being emotionally available. I know for a fact that if we're going to be honest, if we ask majority of the ladies who are available here now to tell us their choice, if they were given an option of going with a Dangote or someone else who does not have the financial capability, they will. But we know that Dangote will not give you emotional availability. That's a fact. He's too busy trying to run his empire, close deals with countries and all that. And so he's going to be away and all those things. But here we are. They would want, people want to eat their cake and have it. That's the funny thing. People don't want to be honest with themselves. And I'm not saying that It is wrong for you to want to have someone who can provide, substantially financially, and then be able to do the other niceties, as it were. Yes, everybody wants that. But the truth is, if you were to ask people in the heart of their hearts, a lot of people will desire the Dangotes wherewith, but he is not emotionally available. He is not. If he was emotionally available, he won't be a single man. He won't. That's a fact. So I just think, for me personally, people need to get over meals and bones. We've read too many meals and bones, and we think life is about meals and bones. Life is not. Life is real. Like Kandu said, life is real. You have choices to make. And all those manicured personalities that KG has spoken about, and a few other people have alluded to. They become, after a while, they become sissies. There's nothing manly about that person, and that's a fact. They become too girly and all that. So we need to be very honest with ourselves. I'm not saying that somebody being emotionally available should not be a requirement. I agree. The guy needs to be emotionally available. I agree. But nonetheless, let's be very honest with ourselves. Life is real. Life is not meals and boons. Life is not Nikata and all those novels we read. These are fictions. A lot of things, a lot of people are, say a lot of things those people were all talking about there. There was only one person who was reasonable with his reply, and that's the guy who was wearing the northern hat. I don't want to assume he's a northerner, but the guy who was wearing, who said it clearly that if your mother dies, you're going to express emotions. In fact, for some people, if their dog dies, they will express emotions. They will feel it and all that. But the truth is that for men, life is more of 70 to 80% logic, and the other percentage being emotions. And no germane person who's pursuing a dream is going to be, emotional all over the place. A lot of the emotional people, men, are the ones who are not very successful. That's the truth. But the people who really are accomplishing things, you don't see them hanging around with, carrying this emotional life wire all over the whole place. It's a fact. So I will end. I don't want to overtalk. I will end by saying, let's get away from this mills and boom mindset. A lot of things some of us are pursuing are not the reality of life. Life is real. When life hits you, when bills hit you, then your rational thinking will come in. You begin to think about, how do I go make that money? What do I do? What job do I take? And that's the way life is.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Madam, look, one second, I beg. Let me just say something real quick and drop out. I'm
Please
going
do.
out of the studio because I've been out the whole day, so I didn't have plenty time for my husband today, so that's
Please
why I'm
do.
in and out. So when we're talking about the emotional intelligence, the emotional availability, and that's why I came in. Emotional intelligence is very important in every marriage. And being emotionally intelligent does not mean that, or being emotionally available does not mean that you cry when your wife is crying, you always be around her, you don't go anywhere. You're saying that a man that is successful, most of them cannot be emotionally available. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Don't let anybody deceive you.
I
Don't
didn't
use
say
that one
that
be
though.
deceiving
I didn't
yourself.
say that though, sister. I didn't say that.
No, Brachim, I heard you. You know I
I
like you
didn't say
very
that.
well.
No, I didn't say that. Maybe you misunderstood. I said will not always be emotionally available. I
We,
agree
we
with your
no no
starting comment.
okay, I take that back. My apologies. We do understand that if a man is emotionally available and things happen that there are times that he's not available, there's no woman that will not understand that. There's no woman that will not understand that. But we're talking about the men that their emotional availability button is switched off and they threw away the key in Bermuda Triangle. Those are the ones that we're talking about. The ones that their wives are in the hospital sick, they will not call the whole day or even go there because her family members are there with her. That's the one that we're talking about. The one we're talking about is after your wife gives birth, you don't give her a break. You're expecting her to cook maybe even 1 week or 2 weeks after giving birth because you see her walking around, you think that she's okay. That's the one that we're talking about. The one that we're talking about is the one that after your wife goes through childbirth or CS, you think that, oh, the baby is out, she's okay. You don't know anything about postpartum. That's the one that we're talking about. The one that we're talking about that your wife's mood has changed the whole day and you have not noticed that. That's the one that we're talking about. The one we're talking about is the one that is talking to your wife and she's giving you straight answer, and you're not even cautious enough to say, "This is not the way my wife responds. What's happening in this house?" Those are the ones that we're talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're not talking about the ones that will follow you and cry. No, we're talking about the ones that will understand that something is wrong. The ones that will want to provide solution, even if you're not there. When my mom had her 70th birthday, I was in America, I didn't make it. I planned the birthday from America. Do you understand what I'm saying? I remembered when I was doing my master's, my husband was in Nigeria, then he wasn't here. There was a day that I came back and I emotionally, I broke down, I had a mental breakdown. And he was like, "What's the problem?" I'm like, "I've had an assignment due. I just came back from work, I'm exhausted." He just said, "Send me the paper. What do you need to do?" I said, "Summary." I swear to God, I went to bed, I woke up in 4 hours, my homework was done. That's what we're talking about. The one that will understand that my wife is back from work and she's tired, she needs a break. Baby, you don't have to cook, let me order. That's the one that we're talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the men that will be following you tail to tail. No. The one that will pick up his phone and say, "Babe, how are you doing today? Are you okay? Okay, I've seen that you've been busy this week, so I'll order food for us or I'll pick you up. Let's go and eat dinner house and just come back home and rest so I don't have to do anything." "Oh, babe, I called the cleaning lady to come and clean the house so I don't have to clean this way so I have some break." That's the one that we're talking about. Emotional availability. Your wife wants to know that you are in the marriage with her. We know you are out chasing the bag, but you also all the people that are talking that black, you're saying cho 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 cho. Back in the days, even me, my father, not all the time, my father followed me to school for inter-house sports. But now every parent wants to be at their children's game. What does that mean? Emotional availability. So that's what we're talking about. But people are changing the whole thing. Oh, what if you don't want to marry a man if you want a man that's emotionally available, why did you marry him? Things change. Life
Not
happens.
not
Life is lifing.
not too sorry. Quick one. I'm sorry, please, madam. Look, please, just a little addendum to what she's saying. I'm happy you brought this whole follow your children to go to soccer, go for their social activities. But do you also know that many of those people who are doing those things have sorted out that financial thing you're talking about, so they're able to give that in a time. So for the person who is like Cages talked about, the person who is doing a 9 to 6 or having to run from one job to the other and is unable to attend that, but he's doing the same thing so that he can be able to provide for those kids also. Is there anything wrong in that?
But Chin,
Okay,
there's nothing wrong
okay,
in that.
not
Let
to
me no, I'm coming. Sister
hold,
Adana,
hold
please
on.
1 minute. I'm going
No,
to
no,
go
no,
on
no, no.
this video.
I'm going to let you continue. I'm back. That's what I want to say. So go ahead.
Okay.
Continue. Go
So
ahead.
no, there's nothing wrong with that. But let me tell you what will be special about that going to that 9 to 6. You call your child and be like, "You're going for the games. I'll know that is at work. I'll not be able to make it. Mommy is going with you, but I wish you all the best. My spirit is there with you. I'm cheering you up. I want 2 goals. By the time you come back, I want to hear from it." While you're still at work, you call your wife, "Babe, no vex. So I know you're trying. Thank you for all you're doing. But very soon, if this thing balance, you know now, take care of you, blah blah blah." We know that emotional availability. Then when you come back from work, your children will now hug, "Daddy, I made it. Oh my God, I'm so happy." It's not the one that your child has games that day, you don't even know that he has games because you are chasing the bag. Are you going to tell me that because you are chasing the bag 9 to 6, because you want to see your family settle, you will not eat food, you will not take care of your health? Guess where you end up? You either end up in the hospital or in the morgue. That's what's going to happen to you. So that's the point I'm making. Those little things are those things that matter. That's what we're saying. We're not saying that you should give the whole of the day. "Oh, I'm not going." I
We
don't.
lost
I've
you.
not seen them. I've not. Can you hear me? I've not seen them the whole week, but every night I have a video call with them. This boy was invited for an ice cream date in school. He told his parents they can't come. He invited me. Why? I spent 2 weeks without seeing them, but I call them every night, even if it's 5 minutes. That's what we call emotional availability. We know you are chasing the bag, but let your family know that you are there. "I'm doing this because of you people. How are people doing today? How was school today? I'm on break. Or I see make I call my people, check my people. My yard people, how una dey? I'm fine. No, they eat lunch. That food where you give me. This food you try, my wife. Okay, I'll see. What are you doing after work? When you pick the kids, you take them to sport. We're trying. God bless you. But may everything settle. You know now. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's not that you come back with sleeper because you went to 9 to 6. So fucking what? Everybody goes to 9 to 6. Jesus Christ.
They swell. I don't know say they swell. Anyway, I know why.
Oh, I take it back. That was an
Mm,
accident.
not to.
Dr.
Yes.
Adama,
Let me go
Yes.
back to my
I'm
husband's
going
and picked. Bye.
I'm going to leave because
Nice one.
Dr.
No
Baba,
be
I'm going
no be
to,
me go talk. Oh.
Okay, hold on,
sorry,
Okija. Yes, hold on. She has
I'm,
to. I know where she's
I'm going
coming
to leave
from.
it 3:30, but
Abby.
I just want to
Abby,
say
go
two
ahead.
things. I just want to say two things before I leave. If he wanted to, he would, and if he wants to, he will. That's all. Bye. Hopefully, I
Good
catch
night,
you
my
guys next time.
darling.
Good
Good night.
night.
We'll talk. Okay, all right. Thank
So
you so
Bye.
much.
so before Akija goes, for all the people saying that we want Nollywood men, even our fathers back in the
Don't
days,
mind. No,
please stop
listen,
playing
stop
this card.
reading AB's comments. AB
Stop,
doesn't
stop,
have, listen,
stop
AB
playing
is a
this card. You
snowball.
people, you all this, you people are in the West. You are going the West. You are doing certifications every day to upgrade your job, but you don't want to upgrade your life. Continue. You will end up in Copley's Kiss Camp. I don't tell you now. Chakam,
Then
they will catch you.
why are they divorcing the Western men now?
Uh,
Forefathers,
go and chew ice.
forefathers,
Can you talk about
forefathers.
blessing Western men? Okija, you're
Okay,
next. Then you can
okay,
push back in what
okay.
Nazi said, forefather.
Yeah, now to thank you very much. I appreciate whatever you said, but the issue is this: uh, all the men here, all the men here will bear me, will bear me witness, and all the men listening outside there will bear me witness. When they start dating, they don't look for this kind of guys. When they see them, they don't give them any, they don't give them any minute. They look
No,
for all
what
those
kind of
stupid,
guys?
stupid guys.
No, hold on, Okija, wait,
I'm not
wait.
saying I'm not saying all women. I'm not saying all women. I'm not saying all women.
Hold on,
Okay,
let's understand what you're saying. What kind of
I
guys? Define those kind of
okay.
guys.
The kind of guys, Nati. What's her name? Sorry, is it Nati? Who spoke last?
It was Natu.
Okay, now too, although that kind of men, she's talking about. I mean, like, we have well exhausted this issue actually because, like, availability, it could mean a whole lot of things because, the money is not available there. That doesn't mean that it's not available there in the spirit. It's important to be there. But when you can't make it, this is life. Life is not like, life is difficult. Life is not easy. Okay, but anyway, but in dating, in like people, a lot of us, you went to school, you saw some women, you have, your women friends. When they trying to make that decision, they don't. All these nice guys, they don't give them, they don't pay attention to them. It's all those stupid guys, that break their heart, that not treat them anyhow. That's the one they go to. Most women, a lot of women, that's the thing. So these guys,
You know, Kija, you're
eventually,
even
they start
confused.
complaining.
You don't even know what you're saying. What kind of men are you talking?
No, no, I'm talking about Natu. The man she spoke about, paying attention, all those things.
I live with
That's
one in my
the
house. I live with one
okay.
in my house.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Listen. I
grew up
say
in
a lot of,
Nigeria.
I say a lot of women. I didn't say every woman. And all the men, here we pay at, like, people, you have seen things, if you went to university or even secondary school, you will see all these things, happen before you. Actually, like a friend of mine, she was in the university, fine girl, like my, not my cousin, but we came from, the same city. So when we, went to university, we became friends. What, like her boyfriend, I was telling her, why do I knew the guy, the guy was a cheater. And I said, why are you going out with this guy? She was like, I like, the way he did, I like the way he handles his car. Look at, I was like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, I have seen girls give so many,
You want to use that one girl and generalize all
I'm,
of
I'm,
us.
I'm
Now,
giving
Kija,
you
stop it.
example. I'm giving you example.
Stop it.
Okay. Okay.
Please.
And I didn't
That is
say
not
it's
even
all women.
realistic.
There are some women who know what they are looking for. But, but if you interact with a lot of, Gen Z, now, you will observe it more in Gen Z. The kind of men that they could, they go out. When those, serious guys, looking for them, they don't pay attention.
Okija,
So, so that's the
you're
thing.
not socializing with Gen Z. Oh. Do you have daughters?
Um,
This Gen
yeah,
Z, their
yeah,
eyes
yeah.
are
I talk to them.
wait,
I have them.
wait.
I have
No, you
nephews,
don't talk to them.
nephews and nieces.
This Gen Z, their eyes are open. They know what they want.
They
Let me
don't
tell
know
you
anything.
something. They know
Look at
what
them.
they.
They are
You are the people
depressed.
that don't know what
They
you
are
want.
depressed. They
They
are
are not
depressed and
depressed.
unhappy. They are
You see this
depressed and
screaming that you're
unhappy.
screaming is a sign of depression. They are not depressed. They are
They
Now,
very
are
people
happy.
allow
depressed
him
and
to
unhappy.
talk now. Let
So,
him talk.
yeah, yeah. They are depressed and unhappy. I talk with them. I have nephews and nieces. I talk with them. I have a daughter. I speak with them. I mean, like, one said to me, Uncle, why are you always happy? I said, no, I say, I always find happiness. I always find in whatever I'm doing, I always try to find happiness in what
Hold
I'm
on,
doing.
hold on. They asked
Yeah.
you, Uncle, why are you always happy? With this your tone? With
Hey,
this
I'm
your
telling you,
tone? Okija, Kwekwene
yeah,
what are you
I'm a
saying?
happy person. And I'm a happy person. Ask Rudolph. Rudolph is my friend. He has been my friend for many years. I'm a very happy person.
Oh, so
Happy
why is it that
person.
when you come online, listen to what I'm
I
saying. that you were
I
informed
okay,
enough.
I understand
You
what
don't
when
start looking for
I get
validation.
angry when people try to like
Yes,
you know,
why? And you expect me to believe that your cousins are saying to you,
you,
Uncle, why
you
is
don't
your
Okay,
husband
guys.
doing
Adam
this?
Okay,
Adama,
guys.
you
Okay,
don't
guys.
have to believe it. I don't need you to
Okay,
believe
guys.
it. That's the thing.
Okay,
I don't
guys.
need I don't
Okay,
need you to
guys.
believe it. You know,
Okay, guys.
I
Let me
don't
tell
need.
you
But
something.
this is a show. This is a show. You know, we have to bring some a different emotion into the show. Okay, so
No,
yeah, this is the
no,
emotion I
no.
bring
We
into the
don't have.
show.
There's some emotions that we don't need. No, there's some
Yeah, yeah.
emotions
So
that we don't
no,
need.
you don't need it. Some other people need it. It's not that, you know, you are
No,
not.
they don't.
I'm not dancing for you. Ne. I'm not dancing for you. I'm not dancing for you. I'm not here for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Sorry,
you.
So how is it?
can I chip in
Adama,
something,
Adama,
please? Sorry,
before
can
I
I
go,
chip in
please, one
something?
second. Before I go,
No,
one
Natu,
second. Let me tell you
before you
guys.
talk,
Let
Natu,
me tell you
before you
guys
talk.
something. Let me tell you guys something. Even the fact that you just call your woman and say, "Babe, are you okay?" It tells a woman that you're thinking about her. It tells
Oh,
her that
because I
you
have,
are in the
if you have
presence.
someone that does that, is that all? Are you okay? And you can't tell me, are you okay? At night, you're
No, 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 no,
so
no, no,
cold and everything. No, 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 no.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
need
no.
to ask me if you're okay. I don't want to hear it.
No, 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 no. Adama, let me tell you something. So no, no, let me tell you something, sis.
Oh,
Somebody that asks you that doesn't stop at that. Do you understand? And if there's a problem that needs a solution, that person will provide a solution. That's the point I'm making. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not just to ask, but for somebody to ask, that's being intentional. That's being intentional, and that's the point I'm making. All these men are here just screaming, cho cho cho, and telling us that they are happy and they are upset that we are not looking. Please, I'm just there. Let me go back inside and
Before,
that.
no
okay,
problem.
sorry,
All right, thank you. Go
before
ahead.
you,
Go ahead. No,
yeah,
not to
before,
don't leave. I think Chim has a pushback for what you said.
yes,
So wait.
not
Okay, Chim, go ahead.
not a pushback. I don't like those words. Not a pushback. I
Okay,
am
so
here.
sorry.
A
Whatever it is.
pushback
I
from
have a
Chim is
viewpoint. I
accepted.
just
Only from Chim. Only
the
from
thing
Chim. A
is, the
pushback
thing
from
is,
Chim is accepted.
the thing is, I respect everybody's views. Everybody's entitled to hold. We all have different worldviews. If the moment we understand it, what makes it an interesting show is that after you leave here, sometimes not even ego will not even allow you to understand what someone is saying. But if you're reflective and you leave and go and put two and two together, you might say, okay, you know what? I might not have loved the way this person said X or Y, but I now understand where he's coming from. Now, the point I was trying to make is this. You see, Natu, everything you said, I understand. Oh, you call, you acknowledge, you appreciate. But the point is, there are people doing those things, and some of those ladies in those places still do not appreciate it. Let's not
Because
always
you're with
say,
the wrong person. You're with the
okay,
wrong
so
person.
now you're going and you're now redefining and giving new
No, you're
perspective.
with the wrong person.
Hold on,
That's why you
my
need to
dear.
define what you're
It's
doing
not
before you
about
go into
okay.
it.
It's not about being with the wrong person. That's a different conversation for another day. The point we're making right now is somebody said, oh, because this person is not supposedly emotional available, oh, then he's a bad guy, blah blah blah. And I'm saying
No.
that the one hold on now, babe, hold on. There are those who are doing what you just advocated for and might be doing it for some of those people who are standing in that forum and speaking, and still those people still do not appreciate it. Listen, who was it who was here that said something about somebody that wasn't? I think it was Okija that brought up that story about a guy who had a very strange upbringing, as it were, but his spouse was able to like say, you know what? Now I understand where this person is. I'm going to defend him because I understand where he's coming from. Do you think that if that guy eventually begins to understand what it means to be emotionally intelligent, he will forget this person? Of course not, unless he's an idiot. So the point is, it is not always in all cases that people who supposedly are not exactly emotional, expressing that emotional availability or whatever, are not necessarily there. Life is just like I keep wanting to say, life is real. I am not saying we shouldn't try to do some of those things, but sometimes we need to start cutting down on some of the what I refer to as Mills and Boons mindset. A lot of Mills and Boons mindset is destroying
Dalo.
things.
Na
Thank you.
dalo. Dalo.
Yeah, can I add
Ah,
something? You
yes,
see,
please. Yes, please. You
yeah.
can ask something. I'll come to
See,
Madam. You nadalo.
see,
Okay,
you
just
know,
open it. Okay, just wake it. Nadalo.
I've had people say that men should be more in touch with their emotions, and one thing we know, there's a laboratory out there where this has happened, and guess what? The women don't like the men anymore because they are so emotionally intelligent that they become losers. The truth is that there are certain aspects of feminine psyche that is not well understood, even by women themselves. This is why you see that they go after very few men, even when they know it's not logical. There are more men available in the world, but they go after maybe top 20, top 10%. That's all they want. There is also the
Sorry,
idea
sorry.
that
For others on dating app, they go for 1% on dating apps.
exactly that's brutal. That is just that's almost eugenics, really, behavior. They are trying to kill off the other men when they go for only a few. Or go for only a few. So I really feel like that women don't necessarily understand their own psyche, how they behave. They only see the men. I don't
Oh
think you
Lord.
do,
Okay, no
because
problem.
your behavior doesn't reflect people that are egalitarian and easy measuring everything equally. It's not true that you're like that. You go for the most. I think they've done experiments where they said men that sound even more gentle and everything, and the ones that sound a little bit more strict. It turns out that the women, they will tell you that they like the man that is most this thing, but when they check their bio feedback, it's completely opposite. They say one thing and their biofeedback is giving you something else. So, and I'm not sure they necessarily understand it. This is also comes from it also comes into this idea where they seek only a few men. I've seen women whereby they'll go to dating app, they'll say there's no man. But you will see men lined up right there, they'll say there's no man. It's like, are you blind or something? Are those people not men that I'm seeing there? But they tell you there's no men. It's really strange behavior. And this is real. I don't understand that psyche. So maybe this is where men talked about being more rational, but why women are emotional, or kind of, I don't know. But they don't see it. They don't even see that they will scroll through the men. Left, 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 left. Like, see, there's no man. They'll say there's no man there. But there are men. They want
And
a
for
specific
others,
one.
sorry, please. They will go for a man 6 feet and over. That's what they will tell you. And they will see a nice man that is less than 6 feet. They won't go. They won't go for him.
Hi,
That's it.
Chineke
No,
Male.
I mean, like people. That's the truth. Adama, you people are not trying to understand what you are saying. You know,
No,
it's
Hi,
the whole thing
Chineke.
is quite laughable, really, because in reality, see, I see this is why to an extent, I do
Okija, let me
understand
tell
women
you the
to
truth.
an
No, no,
extent.
no. Tonight, we need to understand here. Let's have a balanced conversation here. At the end of the day, you're with who you attract. You're with someone you love, you want to be with. And sometimes that person can't take you to a place you don't want to. What we are saying as women is, you men, how do I say it in Okija, help me, and Madam Luke, help me. How do I say it? Um, you guys are like, I don't know, you're so cold, and at the same time you don't have empathy. Like, when you shut down, you shut down. It's like you don't see that person, anything that person is doing, you're not even seeing it.
Can
So
you define
Let me
empathy?
no,
ask
it's
you
not. It's
now.
not true, Adama. I
No,
mean,
Let me
some
ask
no,
people
no,
you
no,
are
no,
now.
no,
like
no,
that.
no, 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 no.
Yeah, but it's
For
not generally true.
Okija, can she define empathy for us?
Yeah.
Define empathy.
I have nothing to say. Please, Madam Luke, you're next.
But you said the men are cold. Don't you think that it is cold to select only 1% of men when there are this is 99%
No,
out there
that's
looking
that's
for
that's
women?
being that's being
That
nice. It's not
that
that's
is
not being
brutal.
cold.
That is just brutal behavior.
No, no,
Yes,
no.
now what are you saying? This brutal behavior. You guys like you think everything is about money. There comes a point you need to understand that money can only get you somewhere. Like, I don't know, like, what does money mean to you? If you can define what money means to you, you will know that everything is not money. And if you're in a relationship where money is not everything, you start looking at life differently. So maybe that's the aspect I'm coming from. So with that being said, Madam Luke, what is your opinion on this topic?
You didn't
Oh
answer the
well.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question of what I should
You
define
just dodged the
empathy.
question.
As if you
Silence.
guys don't know what the definition of empathy is. You guys want to set me up.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Madam Luke, please. What is your opinion?
My opinion. My opinion is, you see that panel there is the reason why I will never date a Nigerian man. You are spending the whole day arguing and trying to educate them what empathy means. Do you think at this age in my life I will sit down in my house and be arguing from morning to night with this kind of people that don't get it. Like, I'm going to proud to say it. I'm probably older than everybody on that panel. And I've lived life. So when I come to a decision, I know what I'm talking about. And finally with somebody doesn't make me shout. I can only shout when I'm around Nigerians. When I say something once, they get it. Can you imagine? Look at what the women have said here. The men are still arguing. And you expect me to mortgage my future generation with this kind of people?
What do you call arguing? Are you not divorcing
You
these men
especially.
that are meeting
You
God
especially.
You know what? I'm not
I'm,
gonna
I,
Excuse me.
I'm not
let me
gonna
ask you a
sit.
question.
I'm
Let me
not
finish.
gonna sit in an environment where
When you
somebody
finish,
comes and
excuse
demeans
me. When
people.
you
I
finish,
mean,
No,
you
hold
don't.
on
don't
now.
like
We're
everybody,
having
right?
a conversation.
But
When
You
but
you
can
that,
be.
think I say, when
this is
that
no longer a conversation. This is
No, no, no,
demeaning.
no,
It's
no,
not
no,
like
no,
a
no,
conversation.
no,
It's
no,
lumping.
no, no,
Demeaning.
no.
What are you talking
It's
about?
lumping
can we
everybody and just
graduate?
This
Can
say
we be
this.
is
No,
this
no,
honest?
is
no, no,
Don't
no.
you? So if you go
no
to
that
Yeah, no,
CNN
no.
now and they say something
no
you don't like, you
no.
tell CNN
The
you don't like.
CNN anchor will call that person out instantly.
Okay, what did I say that is wrong?
He said these people. How can you be
Yes.
demeaning people?
No,
No,
you
I'm
are
not
these
having a
people.
conversation.
Meaning
No,
you
so
people. You meaning
no, you
meaning
don't talk
uno.
that way. You don't talk
Meaning
that way.
uno. It's not an insult. It's not an insult.
It's a demeaning word to you to
It
say
is that
that.
is your
Okay,
perception
okay,
now because that's your
we are
ego.
so okay. Can I say something? Can I
You
say
don't say
something?
that.
No,
Okay, all
listen to
right.
me. I have the floor, please. I have the floor. When
I
I
know.
finish, you
Hold
can
on,
talk back.
please, madam. Look, before you say anything, hold on, please.
It's your
We are
ego
not
that is
here.
at play here.
Yeah, hold on, please. We're not here to insult
No,
anyone. Can
look at. Can you imagine? That is my ego that is at play
Oh
here.
yeah, you got a big one, bro.
I
You got
don't
a
have
big one.
ego. You need psychological treatment. Actually, I
Oh,
need to
I
tell
know
you.
I do
oh
because
my
thanks to you
God,
guys,
please.
thanks to you guys that have damaged Nigeria, I need it. Yeah. With
You need
this one,
Okay,
with
can
psychological.
we
this
stop?
You need
breast,
Can we?
psychological treatment.
All right, please. Can
This
we?
Bobby
Oh no, no,
biter,
no, no. Let's not do
this
this. Let's
Bobby
not
biter.
do
No,
this.
let's do it.
Can I
I
finish?
know that I'm doing it right. Let's do it.
Take it easy. Oh, chim,
This is Bobby biter that is
Let's
here,
do it.
that is
How can
making
you
noise
come
here.
into a place like this and then you say, "What am
Excuse
I
me, I
doing
will
with all
match you.
these
I don't
people
fear your
here?
damn
Will I
ego.
be?"
So shut up.
What are you talking about?
Stop,
Okay,
Carry
please.
your
Can we have a
baggage.
we're not here
conversation
to
You
now?
fight.
Go
people,
sort yourself out
it's not
somewhere.
an insult. You people is not an insult. So shut
Yeah.
up.
Carry your. Oh,
You people is not an insult. Get over
look
your
at
ego. It's not
my
an
dear,
insult.
my dear.
Yeah, you see,
You
when
need
somebody,
correctional. You need to visit
Can
a
we
correctional
stop? Can we
facility.
stop? Okay, everybody. Nobody should say anything, please.
yeah,
Let's be quiet for a minute, please. Can we all please stop and take a chill pill? This is not what we come to this platform to do, is argue one another and start, insulting one another. Let's not do that.
Tell me I
So
need
please.
psychological help. And what do you need? Lunatic.
Oh, Madam Lu, can you
No,
please?
no, he
Madam
cannot
Lu, you
insult me and
can't.
get away with it. I will give you fire for fire. What's why?
Hi, God, Madam Lu, please now.
When I'm
Let's not
talking,
do
I didn't interrupt anybody. Your only way of saying that have been very offensive to me. When I'm giving my submission, you better listen. When you have any issue, you can address me personally. You cannot gang up on me. I will take you all together. Now I have the floor. Shut up. Now, as I was saying, the women here have been arguing and trying to present their view. And I've just been listening, and I'm like, God damn it. Whoever says that you have to be emotionally available 24 hours a day, whoever said that? All we say is a balance.
Okay, Madam Lu, can I ask you for something, please, before
Yes,
you go
please.
ahead speaking, please? If a panelist feels insulted, and I think Chim feels insulted, and Okija and the men here feel like you're insulting them, can you please? Can we listen? I don't want anybody to come on this forum and feel like we're throwing insults at them.
You need
And
to tell me what was the insult, first of all.
Chim, can you please come back if you're listening? Because let's have this conversation.
What was the insult? Because I said you people. Is you people an insult?
look, it depends the context. The
I
context.
don't know
You
what
put
other
it
context
somehow.
you're talking about. You're entitled to your own
Yeah,
opinion
but
of the
look,
context.
we're not fighting. We're not fighting.
All I
We're
know
not
was a
fighting.
general statement. I said you people, meaning you people in the panel. Is that an
Yeah,
insult?
but the context, what we're talking
Excuse me, I'm
about,
not ready for your
like,
ego. Don't disturb me. I'm not
is
interested.
is really the problem,
I'm not
Anyway, no
interested.
problem.
You that you have been backing all over the forum
Uh,
since. Listen to me. If you leave, I don't care. I'm not apologizing. This would rather be my last day
I
on the
don't.
show.
I don't need the apology. I
Thank you.
don't
I
need
would
it.
rather leave the show.
I
I'm not
don't need.
apologizing to any of you.
I
Bobby
don't.
Bite.
I don't. I don't.
As I was
I'm
saying,
not.
please don't interrupt me. I'm giving my submission. I did interrupt you. Go and sit down somewhere. Like I was saying, I have dealt with my Nigerian men, and at my age, I know what I'm talking about. You see, this is why I said I'm not going to deal with you people. I'm repeating it. You people make us shout. You will not listen. Anything we are talking, you are talking left, you're talking right. I'm not here to stroke any of your egos. Me, I get my own man. I'm not come here to find man. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. So when I'm talking with, I don't disrespect people. But because I'm a woman, I cannot talk. You feel that if I talk, I have to double it to you. Now lie. You know what happen. You know what happen. And he's telling me I need psychological help. Hello? You are lucky that I don't want to say what I want to say on forum. Who born you? I say I'm older than all of you in that panel. Go and look at it. It doesn't mean you people that call a culture, then you will respect me even if it's for being your older. Nonsense. Like I was saying, this is the reason why I will not deal with any of you, dear. Because these nice women have been trying to talk to you, explain to you, you still don't get it. Anybody that is not emotionally available is a courtist. It's a courtist. If you are blind to the death, they will not listen to you. So please, yes. And people are saying that, did you not know the person you were married to? Let me tell you, people change in marriage. My husband went from calling me at night to keep me awake when I'm sleeping at work. I was hearing all those songs until he showed me the kind of person he was. They change. And when a relationship does not work, it is the men that is the fault. I'm not saying women are not at fault, but you see, Nigerian men have made me unemotionally available. That game that they play, I have perfected it. I have perfected it. And that's why I'm telling you, when you go and date somebody from another race, that you will know the damage that you are in. Look at them backing, and this one will come and be backing like a dog on a national forum. You will talk to them, they will not listen. They will try to listen. I'm not the kind of woman you can gang up on. I will close down this forum. Don't try your luck. On that note, have a good night.
Yeah, let's take it easy. It's just that let's just take it easy. Objectively,
Okay.
we know the numbers out there. So Nigerian
Can
men
I?
are quite special. Is that not a fact? From what I gather, is that KJ, please go ahead if you want to say something.
Okay. Thank you so much, forefathers. Madam, look, I love her so much. But if you're still there, listen to me, man. You see, when we come, not because somebody has a complete answer to the issue that we're dealing with, but we're all exchanging ideas. And sometimes when you come across as if you are trying to give the other person a lecture, it becomes a bit problematic for them. I'm speaking like a man now. And you see, where most of our men rely our argument is this, and Fofana mentioned this earlier on. If the West, who sometimes we try to copy, is so perfect, I think there are more divorce in the West than you have in Africa and among black people. Now, Lizzie Taylor is one of those days when we were growing up. She was one of the one who played the love scenes of most of the major films those days. She had over 9 marriages, despite the fact that every day of her life she was reading a love script and acting it out. So if they knew everything, how to be emotionally available and doing things properly, perhaps she wouldn't have ended up the way she ended up. Being that she still remains one of the most beautiful men that walked the earth for a while. So what is my argument here? I see your point. I also see it from, you are talking from a female point of view, and I'm talking from a man point of view. Our point will not be the same because we all see the world from different perspectives. We are all we're looking for here now is a shade of gray, the shade of gray between the two. because one is the other color, this other. So we're looking for where we can find a compromise for both sides. You see, let me tell you how a man is wired. If you have a bill that is coming and you don't have money to pick that bill up, or you have a pressing issue you are not being able to solve, even to be emotionally available will become impossible. Talk less of going to the other room, because those things will not be activated. I don't know if I'm speaking on the mind of other people. That's how most men's system work. But when you have been able to put something that you know that whatever comes, you're able to take it, you're able to be able to deal with it, then emotion now can come in. You will now have time to be able to go all the way to say, I'm there, I'm there. But if not, majority of the time, you are thinking of how to pick those bills. Now, if being emotionally available means calling at other times, saying, how you doing, how's everything, most Nigerian men do that. Some even go to the point of telling you, I'll be going to so and so, I'll be here for this long. If I leave that place, I'll be here, but I'll let you know when I'm leaving. Those are not what we even consider as emotionally available. But it's the other one, the other hanky-panky that is played along the road. Some of the ladies like to be, harassed and all that in the park. I will not do that. It doesn't matter how much if they come to the point that I will have to go to the park, I will not do that. That is not amongst my training. That is not, it does not answer to anything I believe in. Okay, it doesn't mean that I'm not emotionally available. Public affection in that order for me is a no. It does not tell well of me in whichever way. I don't care what anybody thinks. That is my belief. I'm an African. I'm Igbo. That is who God made me. He saw America before he brought me from Africa and Igbo land. Okay. My great grandfathers have lived in that culture to the point where I am now. Ibundibo. We are people of the ancient. And our lifestyle will not end with me. It will continue. I will pass that same value and principles to my son. Where he finds it easy to be able to, augment, he will. But he will know what is required of a full-blooded Igbo man, at each time. So why am I saying that? I'm saying that to say that, forget the last part, I'm trying to just, bring some comic into it. But the truth remains that black men, we are almost the same. And it is not in our place to do some of the things that we see in the West. And I still refuse to succumb to that argument that some people try to put forward, that men in the West are more loving and caring and emotionally available than the people of the black skin and people from Africa. I don't agree with that. And if you look at our lifestyle, some of them have only their immediate family to handle, which is sometimes just one child or two child, at most 5. But as a man in Africa coming from Nigeria, you don't only deal with your immediate family, you deal with your extended family, and both from your wife's side and your own side. And that is a lot of pressure. And sometimes not even your immediate family that is the pressure coming from. It's coming from people within, who are your relatives. Okay? I tell the truth. No matter how you say it, you cannot understand what it is to be a man as long as you're a woman. You can't. Because it comes with a lot of, responsibility that you may not be able to understand. And I say that because if a thief comes into your house, a robber comes, it breaks into your house, you're not going to expect your wife to get up and go on. These are natural dispositions given to a man who will think in that order, and every woman will think in the order. Nobody will expect you that if a fight falls out of the street, you expect your wife to go and fight while you fold your hands and look. You will take on the fight because you are supposed to be. That's your role, So I'm saying that to say that, again, I give an example of what I said earlier on. We think from the beginning, we get to the end without minding how many bus stops or how many stops or how many turns are along the road. That's how we think. But women have the ability to think of the little details. Okay, those little details are taken into account. You take into account how many junctions, where you stop to, have a break, have a lunch, Men don't think in that order. We want to deal with the issue and get it sorted out and face the next task. That is why we will not be able to be think in the same fashion, the same way, you know. However, I understand where you're coming from, and I hope that those who, people who relate with, people who are listening can learn one or two things from you, which they may be able to use to improve their relationship with their loved ones. But like I said, you cannot take that title to say you know how a man should behave because you have not been a man, and God has made such a way that you're a beautiful woman and you're not going to be a man. I rest my case.
Thank you, sir. To Niger, what is your final submission?
My final submission on this is that there are areas of improvement that we can um, apply within our context. That is true, definitely. And I think it's quite urgent we actually start looking into those areas. As an example for me is that, when we raise our, because it tends to be that when we raise our girls, the mothers teach them how to treat the man, but I'm not sure they necessarily teach the men how to treat women. And from what I gather, women have said that they tend to impact cultural norms onto the children more than the men. And if that is the case, then maybe they should pay more particular attention to the men that are going to be the next generation of men, and get them to do some of the things that they want to see in them. But you have to also be careful. You have to be self-aware. Like I said, there are a lot of women out there that are not necessarily self-aware to the truth of their true nature. And this is a serious challenge because how can you advise someone when you are not even aware of yourself well enough? You might say you like something, but you don't know why you like those things. Maybe because that's all you know, that's all you have been taught. But if you dig deeper, it's quite different out there. And I really think we have to be careful about how we define this thing. But I would say teach the young men how to behave, and they are going to behave better for the next generation that is coming. This generation is, as you can see, it's all baked in already. I'm sure most of us here have empathy, but the way it's been discussed, it's almost been discussed as if loyalty and empathy can equate to the same level. I think loyalty is by far um, uh, greater because it's there through thick and thin. Somebody can empathize with you and divorce you the next day, it doesn't matter. But what is the use of the empathy then when they are the ones divorcing you at the same time? And you wonder why, with all the empathy that they have in the West, they are getting higher rates of divorce with very little loyalty in relationships. So that is that on that front. I think that's just about it from my end anyway. I don't think there is not that much to it. I just think that the women should know more about themselves, then advise the boys that they are raising accordingly. Thank you.
When you say the women should know more about themselves and advise the boys they are raising, what do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is, based on studies that have come through, some things that women say they don't like, they actually like it. Some behavior tendencies that many of them describe that they want to see in their men, if the men do that, they lose respect for them, especially if there are knock-on consequences from that behavior. They lose the respect for the man completely and divorce the man. And then they will go for that guy that they describe as the bad boy and all the rest of it. So what I mean by know thyself properly. Because if you know thyself well, then you'll be able to guide the young men, the next generation, better. You can also, while you are doing that, teach them not to be brutal to their wives. Teach them to understand that their wives and their girls and their children are their duty to protect from a very young age. If you teach the boys that from a young age, they'll grow up never to lay hand on the woman, knowing full well that that is contrary and opposite to what they are supposed to represent. So we all have a duty here, and I think this is an area that the women can help resolve, given that they actually have more access to the young men while they are growing up.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. Um, Chim, what is your final submission with everything that was said today? What advice do you have to give to the women and men? How can we make marriage a union where both people involved in it can enjoy it and be at the same time emotionally available to one another?
Okay, thank you. So, but before I go any further, let me first of all say, Auntie Luke, I'm sorry for using any word that may have offended you. I apologize for that. I will take off from where forefathers. He said something very striking. That some.
Hold on before you go further. Madam Luke, did you hear what Chim said? Madam Luke.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Even if I
No,
don't say that.
I heard what he said. I was going to reply when I gave my final submission. I didn't want to interrupt him.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Chim, thank you so much. I appreciate that apology. Thank you so much.
All right. So forefathers said something that you see is can easily be lost under the radar if we're not paying attention. Now we complain about our men, and if we need to complain about them, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But ladies, who raises these men we're always complaining about? And forefathers just mentioned it without us, without it necessarily striking anybody to say, hold on here. Every man came through a woman, and every man is taken care of by a woman, raised by a woman. So how is it that with all the feminine touch, it doesn't rub off on these guys, and these guys turn out to become the things you ladies don't like? So perhaps women, Pikono, you need to start going back to pay attention to your sons. That's what it means. You want them to be giving TLC. You want them to be emotionally involved, and then start teaching them how to, you know, be gentlemen, the kind of men you want. Because I don't see it, at least from our own generation, our fathers were out, like we've been, which is part of what we're trying to correct today, right? Our fathers were out looking for the money, which means we were sitting down at home with our mothers. Some of us, our mothers were teachers. We come back from school, they would take us through all the lessons and all that. So women, maybe this finger we're pointing is actually pointing back towards you. When you raise that your son, start trying to inculcate these things into him. But at least as you inculcate it, be careful also to take note that we don't want to lose the masculinity. There's a measure of masculinity this guy needs to have. If you lose it, then trust me, when he comes into marriage, you will also not like it as a woman. I think it's what we need to do is to strike the balance. I'm somebody who personally I don't want to go towards any extreme. I don't go towards the extreme left or to the extreme right. I try to strike the middle. I will advocate that men show love proportionally the way they should, and also stand boldly and say things they need to say without necessarily, exhibiting an unnecessary testosterone. And just strike it in the middle. Stay in the middle. Then lastly, society is evolving. I agree that for those of us who live in the West, we're going to be robbed. Well, maybe not me, because trust me, I'm already formed. There's nothing that anybody's going to change me now. I've been formed from Nigeria. So the only thing I can do right now is try and adjust here and there. But I've been formed. But my mind is open enough in a reasonable way to adopt what I think is good value. And what I feel is bone, I will throw it away. I'm not going to just adopt everything for adoption's sake. Lastly, next time we're coming to stuff like this, let's get data. It might strike us that some of the things we are saying are assumptions. Sometimes we say,
Did you just say something? Is that
Chekwarano
not your
now,
area? Is that not your area?
Chekwarano now, Chekwarano, please hold on. Before you crucify me, hold on. The point I'm trying to make is this. Sometimes we say, oh, marriages and relationships in Nigeria are falling apart. Do we have enough data? Interestingly for me, just this past week, and I'm being honest, I'm not making up this. The city of Calgary sent out a survey. And guess what that survey was about? They were trying to find out how many marriages were still standing in this city. They sent out a survey. I was just laughing to myself because I already knew this conversation was going to come up today. They were asking all manner of questions from your father and your father's own relationship. They wanted to know. They're trying to draw a correlation between where you are and where you're coming from. Even some of the questions included, are you a recently landed person? How long ago have you lived in this society? Since you came in here, do you live in a common union, in a marriage? They were asking, and that's data. They're trying to get data. So it makes sense sometimes when we want to come to these things so that we have accurate information and not just be off the cuff what you saw across the wall, or you heard your neighbor on that side, or they've gone away, and then you just conclude that's the way it is. It might not be true. There are a lot of people who do not bring their issues to social media, and there are a huge chunk of them, a very large chunk of them. They don't come and spread their dirty linens on social media. And so when we see the few, or maybe it's the many, I don't know, I'm just saying, we make inconclusive assumption. So I think it's good. Let's have that data. How many African or Nigerian relationships or marriages are blossoming or breaking away vis-a-vis those ones back home? That way, it gives us and sometimes we let us do a cross copulation of the so-called white people too, so that way we're able to know if we're doing badly or we're not doing well at all. You understand? So that's my own. But I think it takes two to tango. Things can be improved. People can adjust. There's nothing wrong in telling the person you're with to say, this is what I don't like. And hopefully they will be able to take it serious. What creates problem for me is that people don't take people seriously. You take the other person for granted. And when you do that, it creates a lot of problems. A lot of has been spoken, many people have spoken well, and I will end again by saying, Madam Luke, I apologize again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Kandu, what is your final submission, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think a lot of people have said, a lot of very good things. I don't remember any of the men, from what I've been listening to, saying that men should not have emotion or should not be emotionally available. I think it's all an issue of degree, and everything is a balance. I've heard somebody say that a lot of these women nowadays despise the men that they help to raise. It's not. This is not about women bashing or men bashing. It's about finding that balance. But unfortunately, in the spaces that I am at online, 80% of the women are looking for the 20% of men. The 6 feet tall and above. Even someone who is 5 foot tall will be telling you, I need a guy who is 6'4". To do what with? So unfortunately, I'm not an optimist. I'm a realist. I look at things from a realistic point of view. When my children were growing up, I used to tell my son, you cannot lift your hand against your sister. And I used to have to tell her too, you got to watch your mouth. Because if you're mouthy, someone who is not able to handle that situation might do something that you may not like. I have never raised my hand against a woman. Uh, I can't even do it because, that, that's a different story. But um, it's all about balance. But the reality is, at least the women of nowadays that I see, especially online, be they American, be they Nigerian, children of Nigerians that have, moved to the US, it is the same script. It is the same narrative. I want a man who is this. I want a man who is that. And the question that at least the ones in my family is, what are you? That man wants something too. And if you all want the man who makes 100 and whatever thousand, whereas in this America, at least in the black community, the people that make over 100,000 are about 12%. 12%. So you have about 80% chasing 12%. That math will never match. I believe people should go for who they want. Like my very good friend George Judy will say, you have to study that man and watch him and watch him. In good times, in bad times, when you go to a restaurant, when you go to a store, how does it deal with other people? And you should do that for the woman you're trying to be with. I agree with Madam. Look, I mean, people can change over time, but for me, there are some core principles that's a lot of people have. How do they treat their siblings? How do they treat other people? You cannot fake that. You cannot fake that. That is either in you or it's not. At the end of the day, choose wisely, look very well before you leap. If you need to, talk to other people in your community, in your family, to try and know who this person is. I've had situations where I've had to tell, friends, male friends of mine, how do you talk to your wife? Your children are going to see what you do. You can tell your children, "Oh, don't do this or don't do that." But how do they see the relationship that you have with your wife? Nobody said it's going to be, it's just going to be all Disneyland all the time. Marriage is work. Is work. And for those who are willing to do the work, I think it's still the best institution out there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Revolution, please, what is your final say on this topic, sir?
Thank you.
Revolution. Thank
Yes,
you, sir. Thank you for coming back.
yes, I just finished my work. So, what I want to say is, first of all, to thank you so much for bringing up this type of what's it called? These topics that you bring. Many people overlook them and they complain all the time. So, I want to thank you that you brought up things like this, that people should talk about it. At least I have learned something. Many people will learn. But my final thought is that any relationship should be based on 50-50. Honestly, that's the only thing I want to say lastly. If you think that you are the only one has emotion, then you are not giving 50-50. So for me, a good relationship, especially marriage, that is based on 50-50 lasts forever. Thank you. Did you
She's
get me?
muted, Adama. I think she's muted.
Okay. Anyway, good night, brothers and sisters.
Thank
Good
you
night.
for coming in. So what next? Are we supposed to?
Let me
Okay,
give my own. No, I know I'm the only woman here and I don't count, but let me please give my own final submission. Thank you.
okay, go ahead.
So, Mr. Chim, we have come a long way, and I also would like to apologize to you. Sometimes, and I would like to apologize to members of the panel and even the forum, the commentators and viewers alike. There's no reason why we have to display this kind of behavior, and I hate to go to those kind of places. But sometimes things get out of control. And like I said, I will also tender my apologies. And hopefully, going forward, we will learn how to, navigate our words and our what else responses better. Thank you very much. Having said that, I still maintain it that Nigerians are failing with the marriage, and this emotional disconnection is one of the reasons why. And I have gone and brought up a research. Nigerians has one of the highest divorce rates, and women are more initiating the divorce more. And even in Christian marriages, they have believed now that it's better for them to be single than to go put up with domestic abuse. Now, coming to this emotional detachment of a thing, like I said it, anybody that's not available to you emotionally is a cultist. One of the reasons why we can develop healthy emotional ties, avoid polygamy. Avoid polygamy. And why do I say avoid polygamy? You cannot connect when you have you have four wives, and 58 children. You can only remember those children by number. You don't know their names. And if you don't remember them, how are you going to connect to 80 people in one compound? That is just like acting Game of Thrones in one compound. Fuji garbage. How are you going to connect to 80 people in 1 week? So some will be neglected. Some you don't know what they're doing. Then you will have brother sleeping sister. You have sleeping brother sleeping mama because they can't tell who their mama is. You can't tell what they're doing because it's just a bunch of, chaos. How can you connect with 80 people? Abiola people, are they connected? Buhari children, are they connected? Tinubu children, are they connected? So please, we have to learn to have the people you can connect with, keep them close to you. If you can have only 4 children, please stay with. You cannot connect with a whole village in your compound. It's not possible. That is why I cannot stand polygamy, because it is the breeding ground for emotional disconnection. Because the father is not going to present. The children are not going to feel that fatherly love at once from one man. The women are doing their own things. So that is one reason why I say, you know what? Polygamy is not even helping Africa. And that is why we are not taught to love, because we're taught to survive, because there's a lot of competition, a lot of, let me just say chaos. Having said that, one thing I will have to say again, even if you are in a marriage, things can change. There are a lot of components in a marriage. Emotional availability is the core of everything. That is what keeps you connected. If you are making money, that is why, like I said, I have learned to make money myself. That emotional availability, I have perfected it to the core. I can be with a man or anybody in this house for 1 week. I won't talk to you. Even my children, they can be here, especially these selfish American children that you have here. If you think you're going to invest your emotions on them, you're wasting your time. So what I'm going to say is that my emotion is not cheap. I will only give you what you give me. If I see you are keeping your distance, I am not going to be available. I dated a guy once. Everything was going good. Well, yeah, the bed, everything was good. After I finished, I went to my house. I not called the guy the next day. 1 week later, this guy called me, said, Kaka, which kind of woman am I? That I couldn't even call him. I said, well, what am I calling you for? We have finished what we have to do now. Everybody go to your house. Is this a long-term relationship? No. So I have become what you people have made me to be. Emotionally unavailable. Full time. If you give me 10% love, I will give you 10% love. If you give me 20%, I am not giving you more than what you give me. That is what I have come to now, and I'm very comfortable with it.
And I agree
Because,
with you. I agree
thank
with you.
you. I'm not going to put my guards down for anybody to rubbish my emotions. It's not possible. You're not going to get me cheap. This tears is not for tears, for fools. So if you want to play that game, I want women to develop that attitude. No woman should ever beg for money or honey. Go and work for yourself. Keep your emotional balance to yourself. Give it to only people that are worth it. Don't throw yourself for people because you're looking for emotion. Keep it. It's hard, but you will learn it, because these men have taught me. 5% love, you get 5% love. I'm not giving you anything extra. So on that note, women, you need to be strong. That emotional stuff is not only for women. If the men don't give it to them. You people should live like that. You are not going to suffer. You're not going to die. You'll be stronger and be happier. Look at me. I don't even have one gray hair on my head at my age, because I don't let no man stress me. If you like, you call oho. If you like, you not call oho. That's not my business. I'm doing my thing. I can always find way to satisfy myself. So on that note, develop a healthy emotional compass. But where it's not available, don't give it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Luke. Uncle KJ, do you have anything else to say before I give my final submission, sir? Uncle KJ.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Sister, I'm not sure say after Madam looks, I could get anything to say. I just want to say that life is not, is there's no straight path to the end of life. If not, all of us will walk in it. Life does not have any straight path. That because A have done this, it means that to work for B and C. When we are growing up, we are told that we should marry from our place. There will be no divorce. Those who marry from the place are still divorcing. We are told we should marry our friends. Those who marry their friends even have the most fiercest, fierce battle. We should told we should do cross-cultural marriages. We have done that, and it's not working either. In other words, life is what you make it. Is how you put it. In my little life, I've learned to realize that if you give respect, you are definitely going to get it. If you sow love, you get love back. If you sow money, you get money back. If you whatever you sow, you reap bountifully that which you have sown. Now, does it mean that because when Madam Luke talks, you would think that every woman out there is working perfectly. Not it can't be. It's not possible. Just like there's not every man that is perfect. You have some very gentlemen, that we never do, you never say anything wrong. They always they are emotionally available, just like Kim also said that earlier. Yet it didn't work. I have a friend who even at his own expense, was going out of his way to do things for the wife. Still, she was not satisfied. She was not satisfied. So, I mean, what else can I say? Somebody buying a brand new, city vehicle, city Honda car for a wife, and himself is working and just catching taxis and just to make the wife comfortable, and the wife is still not comfortable. So it's not. It's not. These things are not written on stone. That if you do this, things must work out this way. It doesn't go that way. We all need to be in a place of prayer. For me, as a Christian, and be led by the Spirit of God, by the Holy Spirit, for what you do. It does not mean because you're a perfect gentleman means that everything will work. It does not mean that because I hear Fofana saying, the rough guys. The rough guys also have people they've not been able to deal with, and some of them are so rough that they can't even stay in that whoever has run to them. If what Madam Luke is saying is perfect, then you don't have a millionaire who is having his his housemates, get men and all that taking on their wives. That kind of relationship wouldn't happen because what is she looking for? So the thing is simply that God should give you an understanding wife, an understanding husband, and that both of you can, not because you won't have frictions, but the frictions can be dazzled, because the Bible says iron sharpeneth iron. If you rub two iron together, it will produce sparks. How you handle the sparks is what matters. I want to tell Madam Luke also, just like you said, men and all that, there are some women who are badly trained. I once went to a wedding, conference. I mean, a premarital counselor. And I asked, what about the women who are badly trained? Who gets the blame? Because at the end of the day, a divorce is a divorce. Who get the blame for those who are not properly brought up? Who get the blame for those who cannot boil a simple egg? Who get the blame for those ones who cannot even allow you put in a word? Because it is called marriage. And in that marriage, you have a title. The woman has the title as what? The bride. The man has the title as what? The groom. A groom means what? A groom simply means somebody who is what? Preparing somebody. You are the bride, and the groom is there. Is there to groom you to what he wants, not the other way around. And I speak because I speak in this authority. As a Christian, that's what I believe. That's the only kind of life I know. I'm not going to shy away and go away from that. So if you are being except you're not being a bride, and then we're on equal terms. But if you're a bride, just like Christ is, we are bride of Christ, It's not us that will tell Christ what to do.
KJ, now that place the trouble they come from, oh, religious people.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. But anyway, whatever you may say, that is my.
I say that religious doctrine, in many cases, that's where the problem comes from. Because now you are trying to say the groom has the power to groom the bride. It's
My
wrong.
brother, my brother, like I said, this is my view. If you take it to I have two customs, the two traditions that I know, and I'm willing to. One is above the other. My faith in God is above my tradition. But if you go back to my tradition, even the Igbo custom and tradition, it's even more glaring that there are certain things you cannot do. But I'm not even at that. I'm simply saying that anything that has two heads, listen to me, Mr. Revelation, anything that has two heads on earth is called a monster. Nothing has two heads. Okay? It's not a plane. We're not flying and this is a pilot, this is a co-pilot. No. We have a mother and a father. They're not two equal people. One is first, the other one is second. If you decide to go with the way nature has provided things, you have less friction. Not that there's no problem. You have less friction. But if you decide to say you are co-pilot, you are the co-head, and then that is where the problem comes from. And I'm not saying that to say because when you make that statement, people will say, this one is too traditional. No, I'm not saying because of that your wife cannot bring a good argument or a good suggestion or a good plan. It's for you to know how to navigate this terrain. I said, when two iron rub together, it produces sparks. Whether you're a Christian or whatever you practice, if you live with somebody who you did not grow up, who is not a relative, you met in the city, you got married in the city, both of you will have different values and principles in life. It can never be the same. And so, consequently, as you go along, some of those things will creep up. Some you can handle, some may not be able to handle, and it will bring a division. But originally, it was meant for a sweet walk, journey of life with the
Okay.
person.
All
So
right.
that's why I rest my case. I hope with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to confuse you that
No,
father is better than father. Thank you very much.
thank you. And this is going to be my final submission. I'm going to share something. A friend of mine. I'm trying to get him to come here, so hopefully he will. I'll try to work it out with him. Let me share something, and hopefully you guys can see it. Madam, look, are you there?
What are you sharing
Yes,
now?
baby, I'm here.
We
Okay,
can't
I'm
see
going
what
to
you're
share it,
sharing.
and I'm going to have you read it out as I'm sharing it, please. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Share screen. All right, Instagram.
I hope it's that last video. Make you see where they go when they groom you finish, you turn mumu.
Okay, please. I'm sharing it. Can you see what I'm sharing now?
Where are you sharing it at?
You can see. Okay, let me see. I'm sharing it now. Can you see it?
Oh yeah.
Can you start reading it out? Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's get there. Okay. Who is this?
Marriage.
By Siri Bertie.
Yes.
All right. He
Go
said
ahead.
they told us to fall in love. They didn't tell us how hard
No, no. It
it
says
is to
marriage. It says start with the parts with is this. Marriage is not for lovers. Can you see that part?
well, okay, oh, the main part.
Yes.
It has moved though. Marriage is not for lovers. It's for forgivers, sacrificers, and grown adults. I reject it in the name of my Lord. Amen.
Go ahead. Continue. You can love.
Hannah, you can love someone and still hurt them, still disappoint them, still forgive their needs, love is not enough. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, we all knew that. You
Go
can
ahead, read it. Can
yeah.
you read it? Uh huh.
Real marriage needs emotional maturity, conflict resolution, humility, communication, and lots of forgiveness. Bam! Ingredients. All right, next one.
You will forgive. Can you see the next one?
No, it hasn't come up yet. Okay, yes. You will forgive things you swore you could never do. Can a Nigerian man do that? You will apologize when you don't feel wrong. Oh, can a Nigerian man do that? You will sacrifice things no one claps for. Oh, can a Nigerian woman do that? Keep going, please. Nigerian man are the hardest person to forgive a woman. Oh. If
Okay,
you
read the
cheat,
next
if
one
you
now.
cheat, if you cheat, you are finished.
See, read the next one now.
Sometimes you won't feel in love, but you will choose them anyway. Who is saying what? Well, that's fine.
No, you didn't finish it.
That's grown up love. Sorry, I want
Okay.
to remain a child. Move on.
Uh huh. Nobody told.
It's
Go
coming.
ahead.
I'm slow. It's coming up. Nobody told us this. Marriage will stretch you, test you, grow you, if you let it. Yes, if you let it.
Do you see the next one?
I'm slow because it's reading. It's coming on my yeah. The truth. Romance fades, butterflies die, but deep friendship and commitment. That's what keeps the home standing. Where are we going to find all those ones? Next, please.
Go ahead, the next one.
I ain't we there yet. They suffer.
Go ahead, the next one.
If you are not ready to build through boredom, heal through heartbreak, stay through discomfort, then maybe you are not ready for marriage. Ready? Excuse me, who is writing all these things? Are these poets?
Well, we finished now.
It's coming now. It's coming. It isn't about fear. It's about understanding the weight of what you are signing up for. Marriage is not a vacation. It is a vow. Next. Adama, where you go get this thing from?
Oh, will you read it, please?
It's coming now. You know that my it's on slow motion. If you are married, what's one hard truth you have learned that nobody prepared you for? Drop it below. Someone might need it. It is a scam. Don't do it. Move.
Okay. I just wanted to share that. With that being said, revolution. Now your device is saying not connected. I can't bring you in. With that being said, I just wanted. This would be my final submission. My final submission is please, huh?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, my final submission is this. Please let us learn to improve ourselves, evolve, and be open to correction. Keep an open mind. Learn keep an open mind and do what makes you happy. What works for Adama may not work for any other person. But at the end of the day, we as women, we need to pay attention to those things we are not doing. That the men kind of highlighted that we are part of the problem as well. If we want to have this conversation and have a balanced conversation, we as a woman, we need to take a good look at ourselves, reevaluate those things we need to work on because it takes two to tango. If you want a man that is emotionally available and you're constantly stressing him, how do you want him to be emotionally available? It's not going to happen. It's not. And for our men, if you want a woman that will cater to your needs and everything you need at your own beck and call, learn to help that person. Learn to contribute. Learn to ask, where can I come in? What do I need to do to help you out here? You know? And for those that are romantic, please, yes, stay in your. We like those romantic ones, but you see those ones that are coconut head. If we talk from now till tomorrow, they will still remain where they are. I have no problem with it. If it works for you and your partner, fine. But someone like me, my partner knows me. He loves it. Everything about me he enjoys. And everything about him I enjoy as well. So at the end of the day, let's learn to speak up and evaluate ourselves. It's good to as couples, whatever situationship you have yourself in, is good from time to time, you both sit with each other and say, listen, what do we need to work on in terms of our relationship, marriage? What do you want to see improve? Hold each other accountable. Hold each other accountable and be realistic with what you're requesting for. Don't go there and be asking for things you know that that man cannot be able to do that. So be realistic with your request. And at the same time, men, please, okay, open your mind so that you can be able to listen to whatever the woman is saying. And one of the things I picked up in this segment was men are so, I don't want to use, like, if I say cold now, mean. I'm saying it. I don't know what those words mean in Igbo, but when we say they lack empathy, then they'll say I should define empathy. Sure, Tikuna Wulam. After that being said, please let's have a good weekend. Treat each other with kindness. Love is a beautiful thing. Love doesn't complain. Love shares, and above all, love tolerates. So,
Ezioku.
yes, I love you guys and have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Good
Bye.
night, oh, Kachifonu.
Yes. Kachifo. All right. Let me play my sister song.
Ekwe, ekwe o, ekwe o, ekwe o, ekwe o, ekwe. N'anya n'aka nri na-ekwekwe ka ọ na-abịa. N'anya n'aka ekpe na-ekwekwe ka ọ na-abịa. Ebe m jelu ekwe je gwanụ m ife m ga-eme. Ụmụ ụwa gbatanụ gwanụ m ife m ga-eme. Eji m gị ụgwọ, eji m gị ụgwọ, eji m gị ụgwọ, eji m gị ụgwọ. Ekwe, ekwe mgbadike ekwe, ekwe mgbadike ekwe, ekwe anọkwa mbe m ijelụbịa, anọkwa mbe m ijelụbịa, iwe bụ akpa ego wee bịa, iwe dọkwasị m n'ụkwụ, iwe na-ayọ m wee jụ, iwe na-ebe akwa, ị na-ebe akwa onye na-eti gị ekwe, ekwe mgbadike ekwe. Onye ibe m na-ewe iwe nya biko wee gbuo ya, ọsụkọsụ nwamkpi nya biko sugbuo ya. Onye ife m na-ewe iwe nya biko wee gbuo ya, ọsụkọsụ nwamkpi nya biko sugbuo ya. Selense